Chapter 35-25. Lin Yi was the true heir of the Five Elements sect. After doing all this, Lin Yi put away his staff and left the room. Xinyan and Han Jingjing were already awake and washing up, evidently looking forward to the upcoming battle. Lin Yi washed up and brought Xinyan and Han Jingjing downstairs to the inn. Tian Chan was already waiting at the door with Meng Yao, Yushu, Little Nine, Yuning, Guan Xian, Xiao Xiao, Tang Yun, and Sydney. Practitioners usually woke up early, and Lin Yi would have come down earlier if he hadn't been busy forging his Sky-class weapon. But what surprised Lin Yi was that not long after he came down, Pinliang and Naipeo came down as well, evidently preparing to leave. "Thank you, young hero Lin." Pinliang cupped his fist at Lin Yi and got into the car. Kang Mingming's heart skipped a beat when he saw Pinliang's action. He was also not far away, and he quickly ran towards Pinliang's car. But Pinliang's car had already started, and with a bang, it knocked into Kang Mingming, making him sit on the ground, looking very disheveled. If this was any other time, Kang Mingming would have been furious, but now he had to confirm the relationship between Lin Yi and Pinliang. Why did Pinliang suddenly become so close to Lin Yi, even greeting him before leaving? Wasn't this something only done to friends who respected each other a lot? "Kang Mingming, what's wrong with you? Do you want to die?" Pinliang cursed as he stopped the car and rolled down the window. "Ha! Liang bro, wait for me. I have something to talk to you about." Kang Mingming opened the back door and sat in the car. He was also a Heaven Stage Great Perfection expert. Although he was an alchemist, he would naturally be fine if he was hit by a car. "What do you want?" Pinliang said impatiently. "Ha, isn't Canon crippled now? I can help." At that time, Patriarch Xianxian, my master, was there, so I couldn't say much. But it was my idea to deal with Han Jingjing and Wang Xinyan, and it's my fault that Canon got sucked out by Wang Xinyan. I want to do what I can." Kang Mingming said. "Oh." Pinliang froze. What did that mean? Why did he suddenly say this to me? But Naipeo was pretty much healed already, and he was planning on finding a disciple to absorb some strength from the everyday sect. But first, Kang Mingming could do whatever he wanted. "How are you going to help me?" "I can refine qi gathering pills. Don't forget that I'm an alchemist," Kang Mingming said. "Oh. Alright, if you can refine qi gathering pills, then I'll accept your offer." Pinliang's eyes lit up. If he had the pill, then Naipeo wouldn't need to absorb other people's strength. Qi gathering pills might be a bottleneck for other practitioners, but for Naipeo, it was a bottleneck. That bottleneck would be gone. His wasp absorption arts was at an advanced mastery level, and he could absorb anything. Naturally, there was no longer a limit to breaking through. Naipeo didn't rely on qi to level up anymore, but absorbed other types of qi instead. The side effects of the pill wouldn't exist anymore. "No problem," Kang Mingming said before turning to Pinliang. "Right, Liang bro, what did you say to Lin Yi just now? Aren't you and him sworn enemies?" "Oh, Lin Yi gave us some energy stones, and Pao Z's back to golden class mid-phase now. He'll probably reach mystic soon, and then he'll be able to use wasp absorption arts. So, you need to get your qi gathering pills as soon as possible." Pinliang was a schemer as well. He said that to get Kang Mingming to do his best to make the pill faster. He could let Naipeo absorb other people's qi when he got back to the sect, but how much would he have to absorb? Even if he absorbed 2 or 3 perfected masters, he might not be able to make Naipeo reach perfection. Plus, how many perfected masters did the everyday sect have? Would Pinliang give himself up for Naipeo to absorb? That was impossible. It would be good enough if he could find a couple of Sky class, but it would still be hard for Naipeo to break through. But a bunch of qi gathering pills would be fine. Oh, energy stones. Qi gathering pills are better than that. You know that leveling up with energy stones is too slow. Plus, this Lin Yi is giving you good stuff, and he's trying to please you for no reason. You two aren't the same kind of people, don't be fooled by his lies. Think about how you lost your kidney. Kang Mingming said. Yes, that's true. I'll wait for your good news then. Pinliang nodded. No problem, you have to stand on my side during the Sky class meeting. This was Kang Mingming's true goal. He was afraid that Pinliang would stand on Lin Yi's side. Of course, Lin Yi and I are enemies. I owe him a favor, and I won't do anything to him myself, but I can't stand on his side either. Pinliang said. This was his bottom line. He and Lin Yi were enemies, and he couldn't stand on Lin Yi's side just because of something like this. He'd made it clear to Lin Yi that this was just a deal. Naipeo would take the 5 malice demonic chi for Xinyan, and Xinyan wouldn't be in danger then. Lin Yi gave him the energy stones because of this, so Pinliang didn't feel like he owed Lin Yi too much. At most, he'd take the initiative to go against Lin Yi before Sky Class Island. But if Kang Mingming went against Lin Yi, he wouldn't stand on Lin Yi's side to stop him. This was what Kang Mingming wanted. As long as Pinliang and Lin Yi weren't on the same side, then there wouldn't be a problem. Lin Yi would be alone at the Sky Class meeting, wouldn't that be a tragedy? Just thinking about it made him happy. Yesterday, Elder Xianxian had already told Kang Mingming about the plan for the Sky Class meeting. Kang Ming was overjoyed after hearing it. If Lin Yi dared to make trouble, then all the Sky Class masters would rise up and kill Lin Yi at the same time. Before the Sky Class meeting, Kang Mingming had already started to make connections in secret. What if Lin Yi obstructs the opening of the Sky Class Island? If he wants to obstruct the opening of the Sky Class Island, what will you do? Kang Mingming continued to ask step by step. Then I'll stand on your side, Pinliang said after some thought. Chapter 35-26. This. All right. Pinliang nodded. Lin Yi was his enemy in the first place, and he was the one who hindered the development of Sky Class Island. Lin Yi didn't feel any pressure killing him. All right, I'll leave first. See you then. After Kang Mingming dealt with Zhong Pingliang, he still had to deal with the others. Other than the inheritors, there were many masters who had advanced to perfection in this trial. These were the people Kang Mingming needed to win over. Seeing Kang Mingming get out of Zhong Pingliang's car, Lin Yi's eyes flashed with indifference. It was unrealistic to expect Zhong Pingliang to change his side just by giving him some energy stones. After all, the two were in a state of complete hostility. Lin Yi wasn't so naive to think that Zhong Pingliang would extend this favor infinitely. They'd agreed on a deal back then, and it was a deal. If Lin Yi could help Naipeo recover, naturally, he could kill him after opening the island. It was all up to them now. Xiao Ran also left. He obviously had some things to do. Before leaving, Xiao Ran cupped his fist at Lin Yi and said, "Young hero Lin, thank you for your help before. I have to go back too. Take care." "All right." Lin Yi nodded and said, "You are alone. Take care of yourself. Don't let Zhong Pingliang and Kang Mingming find trouble with you." "I won't. My hometown is Songning City. It's not in the same direction as them." Xiao Ran shook his head. Lin Yi nodded and didn't say anything else as he watched Xiao Ran leave. Song Lingrui and Thor Ryu didn't say anything to Lin Yi when they left. Instead, they were separately pestered by Kang Mingming and didn't know what to say. Lin Yi didn't dare to use Heaven Realm Perfection's divine sense to investigate because everyone was a master of the same level. If he really did that, others would definitely notice. However, it was definitely not something good. It was just that Lin Yi didn't really care. Kang Mingming would feel uncomfortable if he didn't do anything for a day. From the beginning to the end, he was a restless person. Although he created trouble for himself, he returned in failure every time. No one knew where he got his courage and endurance from. If it was someone else, they would have collapsed long ago. All the familiar people left one after another, including those from the inheritors sections. They all went back to deal with the affairs of their sections. It was worth mentioning that Rock Candy and Sydney planned to go to Ironcloth sect together with Lin Yi. There was no need to mention the Rock Candy. Now that she was Lin Yi's little mistress, she naturally had to follow him. As Shueli had promised before, she was going to tag along. After the preparations were done, Lin Yi and the other inheritors set off. A group of more than a dozen Heaven Stage Great Perfection experts went to a sect to demand an explanation. This could be said to be unprecedented. Of course, it was hard to say whether it would never happen in the future, at least it had never happened before. Ironcloth sect was located near Qingfeng Plateau. Ordinary people would have altitude sickness if they went there. However, Lin Yi and his group were different. Everyone was a Heaven Stage Great Perfection expert and had long been immune to ordinary environments. However, the information on Ironcloth sect was pitifully little. What kind of sect was this? How many cultivators there were? What level the cultivators were at? Lin Yi had almost no idea. Even Tian Chan, the young master of the ancient sect's leader sect, Heavenly Elixir sect. They knew very little about it. Previously, Lin Yi thought that Ironcloth sect was an external sect. Of course, this was also based on his sect's name. Judging from the Golden Bell sect, Ironcloth sect should be an external sect. However, he heard from Tian Chan that Ironcloth sect seemed to have internal experts. Internal experts? Then why don't they participate in the Heaven Stage trial? Lin Yi was a little puzzled. Actually, some ancient sects and rogue cultivators may not participate in the Heaven Stage trial. Everyone has their own ambitions and their pursuits are different. Tian Chan said, just like Ironcloth sect, they have never participated in any kind of trial activities. They have always lived their own lives, so other sects don't know much about them. They mind their own business and mind their own business. It's the same for Blood-Clothed Underworld sect. They are an assassin's sect and pursue killing for rewards. They don't particularly care about the heavenly way. If there's a chance, they will break through. If there's no chance, they won't force it. As for going to the Heaven Stage Island, they won't go. Who would return to the secular world after going to the Heaven Stage Island? Their business is still in the secular world, so they have not participated in any trial activities. So that's how it is. Lin Yi nodded after listening. Yes, they were already the top existences in the secular world. There was no need to pursue the illusory heavenly way. Legend had it that the heavenly way was immortal cultivation, and one could step into the ranks of immortals. It was a completely different level from the current martial arts. However, legend was legend after all. No one knew what the Heaven Stage Island was like. No one knew if going there would be a blessing or a curse. Everything looked beautiful, but if one thought about it carefully, on the Heaven Stage Island, complete Heaven Stage was probably the lowest existence. If there were so many masters on the island, one would be killed immediately. It would be better not to go. Lin Yi had to go, or else Lin Yi would be too lazy to go. For Pangolin, for Yu Xiaoke, for Boss Bai's 5 Elements sect to flourish, Lin Yi went with a goal and a mission. Yes, but with our group going to the Ironcloth sect. Tian Chan looked at everyone present and was speechless. This was simply bullying. But thinking about it, didn't the Ironcloth sect bully Feng Tianlong and Ling Shan like this? The distance between the 5 Elements sect and the Ironcloth sect wasn't close. In a day's time, they wouldn't be able to get there by car. In the evening, Lin Yi parked the car in a town and found a hotel to stay in. The hotel wasn't too big, and it wasn't the tourist season, so there weren't any guests. But it was better this way. Lin Yi directly booked the entire hotel, and the boss happily hung a sign saying that it was full. Because they had been on the road for a day, they still had to wake up early the next morning. So after dinner, everyone went back to their rooms to rest. Although the hotel wasn't too big, it was more than enough for everyone to have a room. Everyone went into their room, including Tang Yun. She planned to take a shower and rest early, but there was a knock on the door. Tang Yun opened the door and saw that it was Sydney. Sister Shui, why are you here? What's the matter? Tang Yun felt strange. When they broke up, Sydney was fine, but she came back in a blink of an eye. Chapter 35-27. Oh. Tang Yun was happy to hear that Lin Yi might be looking for her, but she was disappointed to change rooms. She knew that she hadn't broken through to Sky Full Cycle yet, so she had to keep a distance from Lin Yi. Otherwise, the heartless art wouldn't be effective. After taking Xue Li's keys, Tang Yun went to the room next door. Xue Li took a shower and went to bed early in the morning. Lin Yi also had his own room. After taking a shower, Lin Yi couldn't focus on cultivation. To be honest, Lin Yi's strength was already at the top of the heavenly Tao. It didn't matter if he cultivated or not. As a result, he couldn't help but think of Tang Yin when he had nothing else to do. Ever since he returned to West Star Village, he hadn't been close to Tang Yun. Although he had forgotten about Tang Yun at that time, now that he thought about it, Lin Yi couldn't help but feel that he hadn't seen Tang Yun for a long time. If it wasn't for Sydney's presence during the day, Lin Yi would have gone to talk to Tang Yun alone. But with Sydney watching from the side, Lin Yi couldn't do anything. But tonight, everyone slept in separate rooms. Lin Yi hesitated for a moment and tiptoed out of the room. If it was someone else, Lin Yi might have some scruples. But Tang Yun was his first real girlfriend. When they were together, their relationship was already very good. Even if they didn't sleep together, it was close. If it wasn't for the incident in Snow Valley, Lin Yi and Tang Yun would have been living together. So, Lin Yi didn't feel any pressure sneaking into Tang Yun's room at night. Not to mention in a small hotel like this. It was an ordinary door with a key. It was an electronic door. With the skills he'd learned from his master, it was a piece of cake for him to open the door. Lin Yi remembered Tang Yun's room number, so he quietly opened the door, closed it, and sneaked into the room. Tang Yun should have fallen asleep already. Her back was facing Lin Yi's direction. Lin Yi didn't wake her up. Instead, he took off his pajamas and jumped onto the bed. Although Lin Yi didn't plan on doing anything, he saw Tang Yun's exposed shoulder. It was obvious that she had gone to bed without wearing her pajamas after taking a shower. After getting on the bed, Lin Yi directly picked up Tang Yun from behind. However, Lin Yi was startled by the softness of her body. Although Lin Yi hadn't touched it before, he could tell that Tang Yun wasn't that big. Otherwise, she wouldn't have lost so many battles with Yushu because of this, and now Tang Yun's size was so much bigger. Even if it wasn't as big as Yushu's, it was still much bigger than before. This surprised Lin Yi. Could it be that training had the effect of breast enlargement? Sydney was also mentally and physically exhausted these few days. Tang Yun didn't break through to Sky Full Cycle. She didn't feel good either. This was an important matter for the Snow Valley. She had to worry about it every day. So after taking a shower, she laid on the comfortable bed. She fell asleep in a daze. After sleeping for a while, she suddenly felt like someone was on her bed. This surprised Sydney. She was a Sky Full Cycle Master. Unless the other party was also a Sky Full Cycle Master, they wouldn't be able to hide from her eyes. Just as she was about to confirm if someone was really here, she felt her chest being wrapped by a large hand. This shocked Sydney and she immediately woke up. She shouted from the bed, "Pervert! Give me your life!" Ah! Lin Yi was also shocked. He jumped up from the bed. This wasn't Tang Yun's voice. Wasn't this Sydney's voice? Where was Tang Yun? Wasn't this Tang Yun's room? Click. Sydney turned on the bedside lamp. Just as she was about to make a move, she saw that the person standing in front of her was Lin Yi. Moreover, Lin Yi was naked. This stunned Sydney. She quickly covered her eyes with her hands and said angrily, "Lin Yi, you're shameless." If it was someone else, Sydney would have killed them already. But the person in front of her was Lin Yi. She knew that she wasn't Lin Yi's opponent. So she only glared at Lin Yi and didn't make a move. However, When she covered her eyes, she suddenly realized that she wasn't wearing anything. As a result, when she turned on the light, wasn't she completely exposed? Sydney put down her hands and wanted to cover her body. But the more she thought about it, the more wrong she felt. Although she was almost 30 this year, she still had the temperament of a young girl. After all, she lived in an ancient sect and didn't come into contact with the outside world. The only thing she knew about the outside world was from some books. So, she was seen by Lin Yi and even touched. She felt wronged. Why was she so unlucky? Sydney sat on the bed and hugged her legs. She curled into a ball and started crying. This time, it made Lin Yi a little helpless. He didn't know that the person in the room was Sydney. If he knew, he wouldn't be so presumptuous. But now that there was a problem, Lin Yi had no choice. He thought that Sydney would beat him up and Lin Yi had the attitude of not fighting back. After all, Lin Yi had the art of dragon mastery to heal him. No matter how heavy it was, it wouldn't matter. But now, Sydney didn't hit or scold him. Instead, she cried. Lin Yi really didn't know how to deal with it. He could only bite the bullet and say, "Sydney, I'm sorry. This is a misunderstanding. I thought that the person in the room was Tang Yun." Sydney ignored Lin Yi and continued to cry. Lin Yi sighed helplessly. He sat on the side and looked at Sydney quietly. Lin Yi didn't know how old Sydney was. Why did she look like a child? Just from her appearance, Sydney should be in her early 20s. She should have broken through to heaven's stage when she was in her 20s. After that, her appearance stayed forever. So, she could be in her 20s, 80s, or even 100. Lin Yi waited for Sydney's crying to quiet down before continuing. "Sydney, don't cry. We are all adults and top masters. You shouldn't care too much about this. Our goal is to go to Heaven's Stage Island. Do you know that men and women shouldn't touch each other?" Sydney raised her head and stared at Lin Yi. "Tell me, what should I do?" I'll go back now and pretend that nothing happened. Is that okay?" Lin Yi asked. In fact, if it was a normal modern woman, she would probably agree to what Lin Yi said. After all, they didn't really lose anything. Chapter 35-28. Treat? How can you do that? You have seen it, hugged it, and touched it. You want me to let it go? Sydney glared at Lin Yi while gritting her teeth. How can there be such a good thing in this world? Ugh. Then what do you want? Lin Yi smiled bitterly. You don't want to take responsibility? Sydney glared at Lin Yi fiercely. This. You want me to take responsibility just like that? Lin Yi pointed at himself in astonishment. You have so many wives. Am I the only one left? Sydney was furious. What do you mean? This. It's not that I'm not the only one left. Sydney's words really made Lin Yi speechless. What kind of logic was Sydney using? What he meant was that he didn't have any emotional foundation with her. Why did he accept her inexplicably? What was going on? Sydney, calm down. This is unfair to you. Lin Yi quickly explained. It's unfair if you don't take responsibility. Sydney said, a woman is treated like this by a man. Can I still be good with others? If you don't take responsibility, I can only live alone for the rest of my life. Why are you so wicked? Wicked? Lin Yi really didn't know what to say. Sydney's logic. Wait. Lin Yi suddenly thought of rock candy. From rock candy's point of view, if Lin Yi hugged her, she was considered one of them. And Sydney was also a girl who grew up in an ancient sect. Perhaps their thoughts were also influenced by the ancient times. They cared about these things very much. That's why she said that. As a result, Lin Yi had some headaches. Tang Yun's matter hadn't been solved yet. Now there was another Sydney. Well, one more then. Lin Yi could only nod. But I still don't understand anything. I still don't know anything. Since we're together, you should at least tell me about yourself, right? You agreed? That's good. Sydney smiled through her tears. I'll tell you about my story, and you should tell me about yours. From Sydney's point of view, wasn't blind dates like this in the past? Everyone was well matched in terms of social status. Then, they talked about each other's situations and got together. That was it. Fine. Lin Yi felt like it was a trap. If it wasn't for the surprise, he wouldn't have to do this. Fortunately, Sydney looked like she was only in her early 20s, and her personality was like a little girl's. Otherwise, being with a woman who was older than her would be extremely stressful. But now, it seemed that Sydney, no matter in terms of psychology or anything else, was not. They were both little girls, there was no difference. That's right, how did you come in? Why didn't I know anything about it? I purposely locked the door before I went to bed. Sydney looked at Lin Yi suspiciously. Don't tell me you colluded with Tang Yun and she gave you the key? Sydney really didn't understand. Logically speaking, she locked the door. Even if Lin Yi was a Heaven Stage full cycle master. Even if he didn't have the key, he still had to break the door, right? Even if he was a Heaven Dao master, could he break the door quietly? If there was any movement before, then Sydney wouldn't still be asleep. She would have gotten up immediately to deal with it, and Lin Yi wouldn't have succeeded. Moreover, from Sydney's point of view, no matter how daring Lin Yi was, he wouldn't dare to break the door in a public inn, right? So, Sydney went to sleep without any precaution. After taking a shower, she was too lazy to put on her clothes because she subconsciously thought that even if Lin Yi wanted to come, he would definitely knock on the door. How would she know that something like this would happen? According to normal thinking, it was true, but Sydney neglected that Lin Yi had the ultimate skill of picking locks. From her point of view, it was completely impossible and unnecessary for a Heaven Stage full cycle master to learn how to pick locks. No. Before I became a practitioner, I was a great thief. I'm a godly thief. Lin Yi said. Pfft. Really? Sydney widened her eyes in disbelief. How old are you this year? How could you be a great thief in the past? When did you start cultivating? I was still a Golden Stage master a year ago, do you believe me? Lin Yi smiled bitterly and said, I already said to introduce each other. I don't need to lie to you about this, you leveled up really fast. Sydney looked at Lin Yi and sighed, hey, I'm almost 30 years old, you won't dislike me, right? You look like you're even younger than Tang Yun. Lin Yi didn't know whether to laugh or cry, look at you now. I don't look 30 years old no matter how I look, don't fool me. Hee hee. Sydney couldn't help but laugh, then you can pretend I'm 18. 18 is big, you're 16 at most. Lin Yi knew that there was no turning back. Sydney's thinking was very conservative, so he could only comfort her first. However, today's matter was really a blunder. If Lin Yi didn't hide his strength or made some noise, then Sydney would definitely find out and it wouldn't be like this. But Lin Yi became like this because he didn't want Tang Yun to find out. Sydney told Lin Yi about her own matters, but Sydney's life was very boring, almost the same as rock candies. She grew up in Snow Valley and didn't come into contact with anything. Because of her practice, no one came to propose to her. Sydney also didn't think that she would be able to be with a man in the future, huh? That's not right, aren't you also practicing the Heartless chant? Why do I feel like you're so easily moved? I touched you, and you want me to take responsibility? Lin Yi suddenly asked. I didn't drink the forgetfulness, and I've never liked anyone before. I want you to take responsibility because it's written in the book, Sydney said. I feel like there's something wrong with the Heartless chant that your grandmaster created. If it was really heartless, then she wouldn't be interested in men. But now, it's just on the surface, but inside, she has feelings, Lin Yi said. Don't you dare slander Grandmaster Snow, Sydney said. It's not slander, But didn't your Grandmaster Snow end up with Zhang Liju? Did her heartless chant lose its effect? Lin Yi was familiar with Sydney, so he could say this. Don't say that, how is that possible? Grandmaster Snow went to pursue the heavenly Tao, how could she be with Zhang Liju? Sydney didn't believe Lin Yi's words. When this is over, I'll take you to a place. Lin Yi thought about it. Only by bringing Sydney to the tomb would she believe that their Grandmaster Snow was really living with Zhang Liju, and that they were sharing the same husband. Chapter 35-29. She now saw Lin Yi as the closest person to her. Naturally, some of the thoughts she hadn't dared to voice before were spoken out now. Although it was a little disrespectful to the Snow ancestor, it was indeed what she had been thinking. Rest well, we still have a long journey tomorrow. I'll go back now, Lin Yi said. Ah. You're leaving already? Sydney paused. Aren't you going to do something? Do what? Lin Yi asked. The books say that on the wedding night, shouldn't we do something? Sydney said shyly. We'll talk about it when we get back from Sky Class Island. Lin Yi hesitated. In fact, if they were to talk about being together, Lin Yi's ideal partner was Yu Ning, Chu Mengyao, Yushu, or Tang Yun. After all, these were the first people Lin Yi was familiar with, but with Sydney, he didn't have any feelings at all. Although feelings could be cultivated, they hadn't been cultivated yet, right? Plus, if the first time was with someone other than these four, Lin Yi wouldn't be able to accept it. Taking a step back, it should be Yang Qiqi or Wang Xinyan. Okay. Sydney let out a sigh of relief. To be honest, she was a little scared. Although the book said that when two people got married, they would sleep together and do that kind of thing, the ancient sects didn't care about those complicated marriage rules. The people of the Jianghu were all simple. Lin Yi put on his clothes and left Sydney's room. He took a deep breath and looked at the room that belonged to Sydney but was now Tang Yun's room. He couldn't help but sigh, he wasn't in the mood to go there anymore. Back in his room, Lin Yi couldn't fall asleep for a long time. He thought about the things that happened in the past year and was filled with emotions, all the way until dawn. The next morning, everyone left the hotel after breakfast. Sydney's attitude towards Lin Yi had clearly changed. There wasn't the vigilance and hatred in her eyes anymore. There was a hint of tenderness in her voice, which confused Tang Yun. Could it be that Sydney wasn't against her and Lin Yi? Sister Shui, why do you keep looking at Lin Yi? Tang Yun asked Sydney. Lin Yi was driving a bus from the Heavenly Elixir sect, which was provided by Tian Chan. Everyone could sit in it, and Tang Yun sat with Sydney. Tang Yun noticed that Sydney would inadvertently look up at Lin Yi, who was driving in the front. Ah. Sydney didn't think that her little action would be noticed by Tang Yun. She blushed shyly. She wasn't good at lying, and she didn't want to lie to Tang Yun. Yesterday, Lin Yi came to my room to find me. Ah. Tang Yun was shocked. She thought that Lin Yi and Sydney had some conflict. She quickly asked, Sister Shui, then you and Lin Yi? You guys, we, slept together. Sydney was embarrassed as she looked at Tang Yun, who was stunned. Ah. Sister Shui. What did you say? Tang Yun didn't understand. I'm sorry, it's my fault. After the shower, I fell asleep. I didn't wear any clothes. How would I know that Lin Yi used to be a bandit? He opened the door. He thought I was you. Actually, it's not his fault. Sydney said helplessly. Pfft. Tang Yun finally understood what was going on. This was a huge mess. It was a big mistake. However, Tang Yun didn't blame Sydney or Lin Yi. Yesterday, Lin Yi went to the room. This meant that Lin Yi was thinking about her, Tang Yun, and bumping into Shui could only be considered a freak accident. Before, Sydney changed the room to guard against Lin Yi, but she didn't know that Lin Yi didn't follow the rules. He opened the door and went to the bed. So it wasn't Sydney's fault. On the other hand, Tang Yun didn't want to look into the relationship between Lin Yi and Sydney. It seemed that Lin Yi already had a lot of women around him. She couldn't stop them even if she wanted to. During this period of time in the ancient sect, the ancient books she read instilled in her the ideas of ancient women. So she didn't have much resistance towards Lin Yi having multiple wives and concubines. Besides, Sydney was a friend she got along well with. Although Sydney was guarded against Lin Yi before, it was for the sake of Shuegu. But now that Sydney and Lin Yi had such a relationship, Tang Yun felt that there wouldn't be any obstacles between her and Lin Yi. You. Why don't you scold me? Actually, it's not like I'm being forced into this. I just think that Lin Yi is actually quite a nice person. There's something indescribably attractive about him, forget it. In Shuegu, you and I are like sisters. This is nothing. You and I are no longer women in the secular world. My thinking has changed a lot. As long as we get along, it's fine. Tang Yun shook her head. Previously, when they were in the secular world, she was competitive and wanted to be Lin Yi's first wife. But now that she thought about it, it was just a title. Perhaps it was because heartless arts changed Tang Yun's personality. Sydney didn't think that Tang Yun would let this matter go so easily. It surprised her. But looking at Tang Yun's sincere expression, it didn't seem fake. Sydney finally let out a sigh of relief. From her point of view, the biggest obstacle to being with Lin Yi was Tang Yun. If Tang Yun didn't have any problems, then there wouldn't be any problems. Sydney didn't care about other people's thoughts. Because there was nothing on her mind, Sydney became more cheerful. She chatted with Tang Yun along the way. Tang Yun then realized that Sydney was quite a talkative person. Oh, Yao sis, I told you. That Sydney in Shuegu isn't a good person. She's a vixen. She seduced Shield Bro. The older she gets, the more shameless she is. She's an old cow eating young grass. Yushu said to Meng Yao. Alright Shu, Yun didn't say anything. You don't have to be stubborn. Meng Yao patted Yushu's little hand and said, besides, Shueli still looks very young, about the same age as us. Sky class masters don't care about age anymore. The future of training will be extremely long, some people even forget how old they are. Yushu's eyes lit up. Alright, Yao sis, you are the first wife. You should exercise your power as the first wife. Yushu encouraged. Yunyan's sacrifice is bigger than mine. Meng Yao said. Then let's be equal. Yushu didn't want Meng Yao to fall behind others. Tang Yun couldn't either. Although their relationship was good, it wasn't as good as Meng Yao's. Sure. Meng Yao felt that it was a good idea, and it wouldn't hurt their relationship. What if other people compete? Yushu said worriedly. Chapter 35-30. Yao, when did you become so good-tempered? Yushu didn't understand. The night is peaceful, and the dark phoenix arts I practice has a calming effect. I finally understand why my mom is so good-tempered. Meng Yao smiled. But why is that old woman Elder Dark Knight so hot-tempered? Yushu said. Her arts are related to the Dark Phoenix, but it's not the same. Only people with the Dark Phoenix attribute can practice it. Meng Yao said. Oh, okay. Yushu was still hot-tempered. She was a fire practitioner after all. They were all sky class masters, and unless they didn't purposely eavesdrop, it was easy for others to hear what they were talking about. Sydney didn't know that Yushu had heard what she said, but it wouldn't take long for the others to know. As expected, Yushu went to chat with Xiao Xiao after telling Meng Yao, and Bingtang found out as well. Xinyan and Han Jingjing, who were sitting at the back, found out as well, and so on. When they got out of the car, everyone looked at Shueli strangely. This made Shueli a little puzzled. What's wrong with everyone? What are you looking at? Sydney finally got pissed off by Bingtang's stare. She glared at her, displeased. Bingtang, what are you doing? It's nothing, Sydney lil sis. Bing-Tang giggled. I'm older than you. Why are you calling me lil sis? Sydney blinked. You know what I mean. Bing-Tang giggled. I know. Shweli was stunned. She suddenly thought of something. What do you mean? You're the youngest here from now onwards. You need to know the rules. Bing-Tang let out a breath of relief. The Ice Palace and Snow Valley had always been competitors, and there were wins and losses. But from now onwards, Sydney would always be younger than Bing-Tang. You all know about it? Shweli was so surprised that her face turned red all of a sudden, from her face to her neck. If you don't want others to know, don't do it. Rock Candy laughed. Crystal Candy's words made all the girls laugh, especially Xiao Xiao and Yushu. They were rocking back and forth with laughter. Lin Yi, on the other hand, was taken aback. How did they all know? How did the news spread? If I can't say it, Sydney should be too embarrassed to say it, right? This was really, however, everyone was still joking. Suddenly, two black figures appeared in front of the crowd and the bus. One of the black figures glanced at the crowd and shouted arrogantly, "Where did this bunch of idiots come from? Hurry up and get lost. Is this a place where you can come? This is private property. You have 1 minute to leave. If you continue to play here, don't go back." This was the territory of Tai Yi sect. Lin Yi parked the car in front of the mountain gate. He was waiting for someone to come out so that Lin Yi wouldn't have to barge in and search aimlessly. Therefore, the man in black came. Lin Yi didn't stop him. Two patrolling disciples were merely Earth-class early phase. Lin Yi didn't put them in his eyes. This is Tai Yi sect? Lin Yi looked at the two indifferently and asked. That's right. Where are you guys from? Are you also a practitioner? The black figure was a little surprised. He didn't think that Lin Yi would say the words Tai Yi sect. Lin Yi was obviously someone who knew about Tai Yi sect. Even the villages nearby didn't know the name of Tai Yi sect. They only knew that there was a very powerful sect here. My name is Lin Yi. Tell the people here to come out and see me. Lin Yi didn't want to waste time with him and said directly. Lin Yi? Never heard of you. Who do you think you are? The leading black figure said impatiently. Senior Brother Su, isn't this Lin Yi the very powerful person that those people from the Special Investigation Bureau mentioned before? The other black figure suddenly thought of something and said to Senior Brother Su. Oh. So it's the Special Investigation Bureau looking for revenge. Looks like you guys are itching for a beating again. Senior Brother Su sneered. But before he could finish, he was sent flying by a slap from Lin Yi. He fell on the ground not far away, twitched twice, and stopped moving. Obviously, he was dead. How powerful was a Heaven-class full-circle master? One move was all it took to kill an Earth-class early-phase master. This person chattered non-stop. Lin Yi didn't want to listen to him and directly killed him. He said to the other black figure, "Tell your supervisor to come out and see me." Ah. Yes. The black figure was dumbfounded. He didn't expect Lin Yi to be so much stronger than Ling Shan and Tianlong. No matter how strong those two were, they couldn't kill an Earth-class early phase with one slap. But Lin Yi killed Senior Brother Su so casually. He was so scared that he quickly turned around and ran back to the mountain gate. The girls were all Heaven-rank Great Perfection Realm experts and knew the cruelty of the cultivation world. It was either you die or I live, so they didn't have the slightest bit of sympathy for Senior Brother Su. This sect was already on the verge of collapse. If the upper beam was crooked, the lower beam would be crooked. The entire sect was filled with a group of arrogant and despotic people. Every time they opened their mouth, they would talk about exterminating the sect. The one on duty today was Elder Tai Yi's second disciple, the second senior brother of these disciples. He got the report from this Black Shadow King and was furious. It was Lingshan and Tianlong's helper, Lin Yi. Last time, the one who escaped from the Iron Cloak sect was only an outer disciple, but with the Iron Cloak sect's domineering way of doing things, it didn't matter if he was an inner or outer disciple. As long as it was someone from the Iron Cloak sect, they would always be on the opposing side. That was why Tianlong and Lingshan were heavily injured without even asking for a reason. But what the second senior brother didn't expect was that this Lin Yi actually had some skills. But that was nothing. No matter how strong he was, could he be stronger than old Zhu? He was the proud disciple of the Iron Cloak Grand Master, a heaven-class late-phase peak. Although he didn't break through as early as the big senior brother and third junior brother, he was still one of the top masters in the sect. Humph, bring me there. Whoever dares to be arrogant here, old Zhu, will slap him to death. The second senior brother said arrogantly to Wang. Junior brother Wang heaved a sigh of relief. Although he didn't see Lin Yi's strength clearly, he seemed to be at the early phase of heaven class when he attacked. Hence, he was very relieved. With second senior brother taking action, Lin Yi will be captured easily. And, did that Lin Yi come alone? The second senior brother was arrogant, but he wasn't an idiot. He had to ask. Chapter 35-31. Oh, then it's nothing. In his mind, women were not good enough, and the masters were all men. In fact, the Iron Cloak sect was just like that, with more men than women. Second brother walked out of the sect with Wang Shidi arrogantly. He looked at Lin Yi and the woman behind him, and his eyes lit up, revealing a mesmerizing look. Hey, Lin Yi, kill yourself, I'll leave your body intact. You're women, leave me. I'll do it for you. Lin Yi looked at the fat guy in front of him, stunned. He was just a sky-class late-phase peak master. Where did he get his courage from? He even asked him to kill himself? Forget it, I won't do it. Rock Candy, Sydney, you guys practice with Yun Yun. Lin Yi really had no interest in killing this guy, it was just one move. Okay. Sugar and Snow Pear nodded. Although the two of them had conflicts usually, they were both Lin Yi's women at this moment. Tang Yun was also one of them. They had to work together against the outsiders. Because they were both water-type practitioners, they were more suitable to support Tang Yun. Xiao Ning, Xiao, you guys protect Yun Yun too. Lin Yi looked at Yu Ning and Xiao. After all, Tang Yun didn't have enough battle experience. It wouldn't be good if she fell into this guy's trap. Suddenly, Rock Candy, Shueli, Xiao Ning, and Xiao surrounded Tang Yun, while Tang Yun locked onto her second senior brother. At first, second brother didn't think much of it, but when he saw Tang Yun's sky-class late-phase peak strength, he was dumbfounded. Why was this woman so strong? However, he wasn't too afraid, since she was just a woman, and he was a famous master. As for Lin Yi, he completely ignored him. To him, Lin Yi was just a normal sky-class master. At most, he was at the early phase. Otherwise, why didn't Lin Yi attack, but let the woman behind him do it? That wasn't manly at all. Hence, from his perspective, Tang Yun was the most powerful person here. However, Wang Shidi felt that the situation wasn't looking good. This second brother and Tang Yun's strength were on par, so the chance of winning was only 50-50. If Lin Yi were to secretly cause trouble, then the chance of winning wouldn't be high. Thinking of this, he quickly turned around and ran back. He wanted to report to eldest senior brother, third senior brother, and the Iron Cloak martial ancestor so that they could send reinforcements. After running a few steps, he heard second senior brother's scream from behind. Junior brother Wang was shocked and quickened his pace. Was second senior brother about to die? I'm afraid so. However, that person's strength was on par with second senior brother's, yet he was able to kill second senior brother? Tai Yi sect, where old ancestor Tai Yi cultivated. At this moment, his eldest and third disciples were present. Patriarch Ironclad was explaining some cultivation matters to them. Junior brother Wang stumbled in and came in front of the three of them. Junior brother Wang, what are you doing? Didn't you hear Master explaining the principles of cultivation to us? Eldest senior brother glared at junior brother Wang. How can you be so careless? Not good. Master. Last time we beat up Lingshan and Feng Tianlong, that Lin Yi they were talking about is here. Second senior brother was killed by Lin Yi. Junior brother Wang said breathlessly. What? Killed? Old ancestor Tai Yi was flabbergasted. What happened? What level is that Lin Yi? Your second senior brother is a sky class late phase peak. How can he be killed just like that? Even if he's not dead, it's still not enough. Master, please send people to help. Junior brother Wang said, they have sky class late phase peak. There's also a sky class late phase peak. Oh, I see, but he won't die so soon. Even if there's a difference between the two, it won't be too big. Even if he's about to reach full cycle, there won't be much of a difference before he breaks through. How about this, third brother, you go and take care of Lin Yi. Tai Yi nodded and said to third senior brother, you're a full cycle, it'll be easy for you to take care of him. Yes, master. Third senior brother nodded, picked up his heaven-ranked divine weapon and followed junior brother Wang. Wait for me, old Shah, to kill him. With that said, third senior brother revealed his peak late stage heaven stage peak strength. However, when Wang junior brother and third senior brother arrived at the entrance, they realized that their second senior brother Zhu was already dead, lying on the ground, not breathing. At first, third senior brother wanted to show off and talk big, but he couldn't do that now. He raged, who did this? Tang Yun didn't expect the opponent to be this weak. Her sky full of fog, the 19th form, killed him. This wasn't accumulating battle experience, it was a one-sided slaughter. Of course, this was also because the Tai Yi sect was too arrogant and thought they were strong, but they had even less battle experience than Tang Yun. Plus, Bingtang, Shueli, Xiao Xiao, and Yuning were all protecting Tang Yun, and the four of them revealed their full strength. Just the pressure alone was enough to make him gasp for air, and so when Tang Yun attacked, he didn't even have the courage to fight back before dying. He was really too weak. Tang Yun's weak voice sounded, I didn't expect him to die after just one hit. Humph, then pay with your life. Third senior apprentice brother said and immediately revealed the power of a peak late stage heaven rank expert. Do you think that a peak late stage heaven rank expert is very powerful? Don't you know that there's a sky class late phase peak in this world? Humph, I'll show you what it means to be stronger than you. Yin Yun, step down, you're not his match. Lin Yi glanced at third senior brother's strength and said faintly. But as he spoke, he also revealed his sky class late phase peak full circle strength. This made third senior brother pause. Why was there a sky class late phase peak here? On the side, junior brother Wang was also startled. Not good, the other side is a peak late stage heaven rank expert and a great circle heaven rank expert. If these two people attack together, then third senior brother will definitely suffer. Thinking up to this point, junior brother Wang turned around and ran again to report the news. Lin Yi, naturally, saw Wang junior brother going back and forth, but he didn't care. How could he draw the Tai Yi sect's masters out if he didn't leave someone behind to report? It would be too troublesome to find them one by one. Chapter 35-32. Junior brother Wang once again stumbled into Iron Cloak Patriarch's room, arriving in front of him an eldest senior brother. Junior brother Wang, what are you doing? Where's third junior brother? Why aren't you with him? Eldest senior brother was taken aback, glaring at junior brother Wang again. Third junior brother has already gone to help, why are you still panicking? Oh no. Master, eldest senior brother and third senior brother seem to have been killed by that Lin Yi as well. Junior brother Wang continued to gasp for breath. What? Killed again? Iron Cloak Patriarch was stunned. What's going on? Isn't your third senior brother a heaven perfection expert? Yes, but the other side also has a heaven perfection expert, and it seems like second senior brother is already dead. Even if he's not dead, he'll be in deep trouble. Master, please send someone to help. Junior brother Wang said. Master, I'll go take a look. Eldest senior brother suddenly stood up, scratching his ears and cheeks anxiously, wanting to go help. You're the eldest senior brother of the sect, it's better for Master to go take a look. I've already passed the position to you, so you need to be calm. You can't be impatient every time something happens. You stay here, Master will go get it. Iron Cloak Patriarch stood up and left with junior brother Wang. Arriving in front of the mountain gate, the ironclad founding ancestor turned pale with fright. His second and third disciples were lying on the ground, and he didn't know if they were dead or alive. The rest of the group was still chatting leisurely. Who killed my disciple? Do you dare stand out? Iron Cloak Patriarch roared. You are? Lin Yi stood up and asked. I'm Iron Cloak Patriarch, here to avenge my disciples. Iron Cloak Patriarch glared at Lin Yi. You're that Lin Yi? That's right, I'm Lin Yi, but are you sure you're the only one here for revenge? Can you do it? Lin Yi retorted. Huh? Iron Cloak Patriarch was furious at first, but suddenly remembered that his second and third disciples were dead. He was also a Heaven Realm Great Perfection expert, how could he be a match for the other party? The other side had one at the Great Circle of the Heaven Realm and one at the peak of the late stage. 2 against 1, they could easily suppress him. This caused Ancestor Ironclad's expression to change. You. Wait a minute, don't make a move. Little Wang, go back and inform your senior apprentice brother to ask for help from the Empyrean ancestors. Let's capture this Lin Yi together. Yes. Junior brother Wang agreed and turned to run. Lin Yi didn't stop him and let him run back. In any case, if 1 came, he would kill 1. If 2 came, he would kill 2. The Heaven Stage Great Perfection experts on his side weren't just for show. They hadn't been used before. You, wait for a while, wait for our men to arrive. Let's have a showdown. Old Ancestor Tai Yi was a little cowardly. He knew he wasn't a match, so he wanted to stall for time. Oh, okay. Lin Yi nodded indifferently. Then let's wait. When the experts of their sect arrived, Lin Yi would kill them all together. Otherwise, killing old Ancestor Tai Yi would scare the others away. Then it would be troublesome for Lin Yi to chase after them one by one. Old Ancestor Tai Yi didn't expect Lin Yi to directly agree. What was going on? Why did this Lin Yi look a little stupid? If it were him, he definitely wouldn't agree. But Lin Yi agreed just like that. What an idiot. Thinking of this, old Ancestor Tai Yi looked at Lin Yi and subconsciously took 2 steps back. Okay, we'll fight fairly. When my men arrive, we'll fight as a group. Fighting alone isn't heroic. Oh, do as you wish. Then let's fight as a group. Our men will attack together. Lin Yi nodded. Okay, no problem. Old Ancestor Tai Yi snickered. Just a group of women like you, what are you? Won't I beat you to a pulp? When that time comes, I'll kill Lin Yi and kidnap all these pretty girls into Iron Cloak sect. I won't be lonely in the future. After junior brother Wang returned, he stumbled into Iron Cloak Patriarch's room and came to the only remaining eldest senior brother. Junior brother Wang, what are you doing? Where's Master? Why did you come back alone? Grand senior brother saw that junior brother Wang had returned and couldn't help but be surprised. Are you training your body? No. Eldest senior brother, it's bad. Did you know? Third senior brother is dead. Master just went and was detained by that Lin Yi. Junior brother Wang said. Master told me to come back and report. What? Third junior brother was also killed? Eldest senior brother's eyes widened. Okay, I'll go now. See how I, old ho, kill them. Don't, eldest senior brother. It's useless even if you go. That Lin Yi is really powerful. Master wants you to ask for help from the heavenly venerables and patriarchs. Ask them to deal with Lin Yi together. Junior brother Wang said hurriedly. What? Ask for help from the heavenly venerables and patriarchs? That Lin Yi is so powerful? Eldest senior brother was stunned. Okay, wait for me here. I'll go ask for help. In Iron Cloak sect, strength did not mean that one could be the sect leader. It was passed down from generation to generation. Otherwise, those heaven stage great perfection experts' lifespans would be extended indefinitely. When would there be a change of sect leader? Iron Cloak sect had a large number of disciples. It was too tiring for one sect leader to sit for too long. Hence, it was passed down from generation to generation. In any case, the old sect leaders were patriarchs or heavenly venerables. They were all heaven stage great perfection experts. For example, Iron Cloak Patriarch's master, Iron Cloak Patriarch, was a powerful figure who had reached heaven stage great perfection long ago. Iron Cloak Patriarch's senior and junior brothers were also very powerful. Gold Cloak Patriarch, Silver Cloak Patriarch, Copper Cloak Patriarch, and Aluminum Cloak Patriarch were all heaven stage great perfection experts. Of course, the titles of these people were distributed after one of them inherited the position of the sect master. The one who inherited the position of sect master was called Old Ancestor Tai Yi, while the others were called by other names. Tai Yi was not the most powerful person in Tai Yi sect, it was just a title. Eldest senior brother searched for all the experts in Iron Cloak sect. They were Iron Cloak Patriarch, Aluminum Cloak Patriarch, Gold Cloak Patriarch, Silver Cloak Patriarch, Copper Cloak Patriarch, and Aluminum Cloak Patriarch. Including himself, there were a total of 7 heaven stage great perfection experts. No one would have thought that Iron Cloak sect had so many heaven stage great perfection experts. This was not known by other sects and cultivators. If he had known, Lin Yi wouldn't have spared Iron Cloak Patriarch's life and waited for the others to come. This meant that the other side had 8 heaven stage great perfection experts, while Lin Yi only had Tian Chan, Meng Yao, Yushu, Yu Ning, Little Nine, Guan Xian, Wang Xinyan, Han Jingjing, Bing Tang, Xiao Xiao, Sydney, and Lin Yi. 11 heaven stage great perfection, and 1 late phase peak. Chapter 35-33. Grand Senior Brother brought a group of experts from Iron Cloak sect to the mountain gate. Iron Cloak Ancestor saw them and laughed, wahahaha. Lin Yi, you're dead this time. How dare you be so arrogant in our Iron Cloak sect? You're asking for death. Everyone, show your strength and scare this little bastard to death. Hee hee. Grand Senior Brother took the lead and showed his heaven-class late-phase peak full-circle strength. Following that, the experts behind the Great Senior Brother also started to display their heaven-stage great perfection strength. How is it, Lin Yi, did you piss your pants? Iron Cloak Ancestor looked at Lin Yi proudly. Time to show off activated. Oh, that's right, I'm laughing my pants off. Only 8. Lin Yi laughed. What do you mean? Are you scared out of your wits? In Iron Cloak Ancestor's mind, Lin Yi should be pissing his pants. Why was he acting like nothing happened? That didn't make sense. Oh, everyone, let's show them your strength. Scare this old thing to death. Lin Yi said to everyone present. Okay, I'll scare you to death. Yushu said and revealed her heaven-class full-circle strength. As for the others, although they found the comparison between Lin Yi and Iron Cloak Ancestor funny, they still cooperated and revealed their strength. Iron Cloak Ancestor was dumbfounded. He looked at Lin Yi's group in disbelief, his legs turning to jelly. 11 heaven-class full circle? Little one, come out and show them. Lin Yi waved his hand and Little One appeared in the group. 12 heaven-class full circle masters. Ugh. Iron Cloak Ancestor only felt his eyes blur. Another heaven-class full-circle master appeared. He was almost scared to death. Previously, 12 to 8 was already not enough, but now it was 13 to 8. Wasn't this a one-sided suppression? He subconsciously took 2 steps back. Well, young hero Lin, this is a misunderstanding. We're actually here to welcome you. Welcome us? You make it sound so nice. Didn't you want to gang up on me? Lin Yi said indifferently. That's just a joke. It's not real. Forefather Tai Yi was already scared before the battle even started. They weren't on the same level at all. Oh, but I'm not. Everyone, let's attack together. The gang fight has begun. Lin Yi didn't want to leave any trouble before leaving Heaven's Stage Island. If it was before, Lin Yi might have spared their lives. Let them be his lackeys or something. However, with the face of the Iron Cloth sect, even a follower would not be too loyal. They were simply too self-righteous. Therefore, Lin Yi would not let this hidden danger stay. After he finished speaking, he directly sent out a palm strike. The 20th style of frenzy fist that he had been accumulating for a long time, and with the boost from the essence chi necklace, it was enough to kill Tai Yi ancestor. The 20th form of the frenzy fist was equivalent to the 21st form of a normal martial skill. With the addition of the profound chi necklace, it would be hard for Tai Yi ancestor not to die. Bang! Tai Yi ancestor was killed by Lin Yi without even realizing it. Let's go. Everyone, let's kill this brat together. Eldest senior brother was anxious, and with a roar, he rushed forward. Since negotiation was useless, then let's fight. They couldn't escape anyway. 2 against 1. Lin Yi said indifferently. If these inheritors were to fight one-on-one, they might lose due to lack of experience. But 2 against 1, the Iron Cloth sect was completely no match for them. The inheritors were also the best among the Heaven Stage Great Perfection experts, and their strength was not inferior to little ones. Wasn't beating these people from the Iron Cloth sect a piece of cake? Boom, 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 martial skills were activated continuously, and the light illuminated tens of thousands of miles. The experts from the Iron Cloth sect. One by one, they fell to the ground, and it was as miserable as it could be. It was a completely one-sided attack. Originally, Heaven Stage Great Perfection experts were rare, and each of them was an existence that could dominate a region. But in front of Lin Yi's team, they were completely useless. They all died one by one, and did not even have a chance to make a comeback. Woo! The last one to die was the Iron Cloth Heavenly Lord, and Lin Yi personally sent him on his way. At this point, the Iron Cloth sect could be considered to have been annihilated. Without the support and protection of these top experts, the remaining disciples could not pose any threat at all. The once prominent Iron Cloth sect had directly become an ordinary sect that could not even be compared to the ancient level. These cultivators could not cause any trouble at all, and Lin Yi did not have the thought of finding trouble with them anymore. Now, what Lin Yi wanted was to hurry back to the West Star Mountain village, and then open the next stone door to see what good things were behind the stone door, and not waste time here in the Iron Cloth sect. Patriarch Xianchen said to let everyone rest, and then he would gather everyone. Lin Yi did not know when he would gather everyone. What if time was tight and Lin Yi could not open the stone door in time? One had to know that the Heaven Stage Island plan would not wait for Lin Yi alone. If Lin Yi did not go, Patriarch Xianchen would be even happier, so it was better for Lin Yi to hurry up. Although Lin Yi's current team was enough to challenge Xianchen, if Xianchen were to push him too far, he'd be forced to go back on his word and not open the island. Lin Yi wouldn't be able to do anything about it. He didn't know how to get to the island, even if he had an inheritor by his side. Without a person like Patriarch Xianchen who understood, everything was illusory. Therefore, after destroying the Iron Cloth sect, Lin Yi returned with the women. What made Lin Yi regret was that Tang Yun did not break through in the battle. Of course, Lin Yi was afraid of problems, so he did not dare to let her fight alone. After all, the opponents were masters of the great perfection, but Tang Yun was not. If she fought alone and something went wrong, then Lin Yi would really regret it. Thinking of this, Lin Yi glanced at Sydney on the side and said, "Sydney, Tang Yun did not break through, what should we do next? Rock Candy and I can go in her place, but I am afraid that there will be problems." Sydney did not hide it now and said directly, "Call her sister Rock Candy." Rock Candy interrupted. "I'll assist Sister Rock Candy. In fact, I can barely replace the inheritor of the mist element. After all, everyone's origin is the water element." Shueli said, "It's possible, but no one can tell if it'll work or not." Lin Yi. I suddenly realized that I seemed to have touched the opportunity to break through. Tang Yun suddenly said. Lin Yi and Sydney were both surprised. "Is the battle effective?" "No, the battle has no effect, but it seems that because I am in a good mood," Tang Yun said with a blush. Chapter 35-34. Stop it. It's not like that. Tang Yun rolled her eyes at Lin Yi. "Why are you still so violent? When I first met you, you were always fighting and killing. I was worried about you." We're all cultivators. Fighting and killing is normal, right?" Lin Yi was a bit embarrassed. He thought about the past and smiled warmly. "Oh right, what kind of feeling are you talking about?" I knew that Sydney Sis and Lin Yi were together, so I was relieved. I thought that you wouldn't stop me and Lin Yi from being together. Then, I suddenly found a hint of breakthrough," Tang Yun said. "Huh? That's so strange." Shueli was stunned. "Tang Yun Sis, you have to call her Sydney Sis, don't call her Sydney Sis," Bing Tang said. "Then you have to call her Sis, why are you calling her Sis?" Sydney stared at Bing Tang. "I am her cousin, are you?" Bing Tang said proudly. I am her senior sister," Sydney said. "Senior sister is useless, I have to call her Xiao Xiao Sis," Bing Tang said. "Humph, what's the big deal? You don't have to tell me," Sydney said. "Tang Yun Sis, did you really find the opportunity to break through?" "Yes. But, it was just a feeling for a moment. It seems that the aura around me is not enough for me to break through. If I can go to a place with dense aura, I think I can break through," Tang Yun said, "or, if I go back to the Five Evils Wilderness, I might be able to break through under the pressure." "I see." Lin Yi frowned and said, "It's not easy to find a place with dense aura. Can we go back to the Five Evils Wilderness?" Lin Yi said and looked at Tian Chan who was not far away. "It can't. That portal can only be used once in a period of time. If we want to use it again, we will have to wait for a long time," Tian Chan said. "I don't know how long it will take." "What about the portal for the test?" Lin Yi was a little disappointed. He nodded and continued to ask. "If they used the portal from the previous trial, although it was far from the Five Evils Mountains, with the pressure of the ghost, it shouldn't be dangerous. It can be activated once a year," Tian Chan said. 1 year, it's too late," Lin Yi was helpless. If Tang Yun could enter the space in the jade, it would be great. That was the place with the purest energy, but Tang Yun couldn't enter it. She was the only one who could enter. "I'll take it one step at a time. Maybe I'll break through on the way. Let's look for the reason from Yunyin's current situation. Why is it that when she's in a good mood, she sensed an opportunity to break through?" Master Snow really missed Zhang Liju Yun. Grand Master Snow had always been thinking about Zhang Liju, and that was why she was able to perfect Heartless Arts. And Yin Yun felt the opportunity to break through because she let go of the shackles in her heart. Although Sydney didn't want to believe it, the facts were right in front of her, so she had to believe it. Heartless yet loving? Lin Yi agreed, that should be the case. If Tang Yun let go of the pressure in her heart, she would have broken through a long time ago. It's all my fault," Sydney said apologetically. "It's not your fault, Sister Shui. Sister. This is also the rule of our snow valley. Tang Yun shook her head. I'll try my best. Let's go back, don't delay our business. All right. Since everyone in the car is on the same side, let's all make a trip back to Star West Village. We'll be able to meet our old man. Lin Yi didn't hesitate and drove straight to Star West Village. They'd all move together. Shield bro, when did you get Tian Chan? She's one of us? Yushu noticed the problem in Lin Yi's words. Lin Yi was stunned while Tian Chan blushed. Only then did Lin Yi realize the problem in his tone. He had unconsciously included Tian Chan. Hee. But as soon as Lin Yi opened his mouth, Tian Chan was unwilling. Don't say it, or I'll kick you. Tian Chan was embarrassed and glared at Lin Yi. Tell me. Little Shu loved listening to stories. Hey, Tian Chan, if you want to be Lil, Shu said to Tian Chan. Tian Chan remembered that there were a lot of Lin Yi's wives here. She was alone and could only lower her head helplessly. Alright, Shield bro, hurry up and tell us. Little Shu called. It was during the Sky Elixir sex trial. We didn't know that she was the young master of the Sky Elixir sect. We escaped from the Five Demons mountain range where the Five Demons dragon was. Lin Yi said and told everyone about his encounter with Tian Chan. There was nothing to hide. It was normal for two people to have feelings for each other in that kind of environment. Oh, so Shield bro knows the dragon of 5 fiends from the start. I was wondering why it seemed to listen to Shield bro a lot. Kang Xiaoming and Zhong Pingliang, those two idiots, they're screwed over. Yushu burst into laughter. Lin Yi didn't dare drive the car into West Star Village, that would be too shocking. Bringing so many pretty girls home would make him look like a tourist group, wouldn't he? Wouldn't people think of him as a monster then? Lin Yi could only park the car in the nearest town to Star West Village. He found a hotel and asked Gooden to bring old Lin over. The girls were very excited to meet the legendary grandfather of old Lin, Lin Yi. They all asked Meng Yao, Yushu, and Tang Yun for advice, but old Lin was very friendly. He came here as if he had expected this scene. He just smiled and chatted with everyone. Lin Yi looked at this happy and harmonious scene and let out a breath of relief. He asked Gooden, Yuan, and old Lin to stay here. Lin Yi told everyone that he had something to do and left. This was the 4th time Lin Yi opened the stone door. He was very excited. Lin Yi stood in front of the Shenyuan cave and felt very emotional. But it wasn't night yet. The stone door couldn't be opened before nightfall. Lin Yi tried and the stone door didn't open, so he gave up. Chapter 35. It was still early, so Lin Yi calmed himself down and waited for the night to fall. He was already a Heaven Realm full circle expert, so he didn't need to cultivate anymore. His current bottleneck was the way of heaven, but it wasn't that easy to break through. He might not even be able to successfully break through on Heaven Realm Island, let alone in the secular world. Therefore, Lin Yi didn't try to do useless things, but rested quietly. Night fell slowly. Lin Yi stood up slowly and walked towards the cave. He stopped in front of the stone door in front of the cave, then slowly placed his hand on the stone door, and began to circulate the art of dragon mastery. With previous experiences, this step could be said to be a walk in the park for Lin Yi. After the stone door recognized him as its master, it slowly rose, and the familiar first floor of the Shenyuan cave was revealed in front of Lin Yi's eyes. The scene behind the stone door was similar to the last time Lin Yi came. Lin Yi didn't stay for long, and directly walked to the second stone door at the back of the hall. Just like last time, he circulated the mantra, and the second stone door slowly opened. The third stone door was also the most important stone door. Lin Yi walked over and stopped in front of the stone door. The third stone door was the same as the second stone door, after circulating the mantra, it slowly opened. Lin Yi walked in, and without looking at the scene behind the stone door, he directly came in front of the fourth stone door, which was also the most important stone door. Lin Yi walked over and stopped in front of the stone door. In front of the stone door, there was also a stone tablet standing on the side of the door, with a sentence carved in seal script: "Third stage full circle, weapon in hand, hit the door with the weapon to enter." The third stage full circle referred to the third stage full circle of the art of dragon mastery. Lin Yi took out the Heaven Realm magical staff that he had forged before, and then took a deep breath. He circulated the mantra, and this time, Lin Yi circulated the mantra at full speed, without holding back, and directly released the third stage of the art of dragon mastery. At the same time, he infused true qi into the Heaven Realm magical staff, and suddenly smashed it towards the stone door. Boom! The strength of the Heaven Realm full circle, coupled with the full circulation of the mantra, smashed towards the stone door with all his true qi, making a loud bang. Lin Yi was just about to raise his hand. He put away his sky-class staff, but what he didn't expect was that his staff seemed to be stuck to the stone door, and he couldn't pick it up. Lin Yi paused, but he remembered his previous experience. His hand was stuck on the stone door, and he couldn't move it away. Perhaps this was the stone door's test as well. Lin Yi took a deep breath and let the magic staff stick onto the stone door. What happened next was within Lin Yi's expectations. At this time, there was no need for Lin Yi to take the initiative to circulate his mental cultivation method. The mental cultivation method began to circulate passively, and Lin Yi's physical strength and true qi slowly flowed into the stone door through his staff. However, with past experience, Lin Yi did not panic at all this time. Every time, it was more or less the same, so he calmly faced everything in front of him. As time passed, the amount of true qi in Lin Yi's body decreased, and finally, all of it entered the stone door. Then, the energy that entered the stone door flowed back into Lin Yi's body. Unsurprisingly, the energy this time was pure qi. Just like last time, it was purer than before. The stone door once again helped Lin Yi complete the filtration. Then, the energy flowed back into the stone door, and just like that, it flowed back and forth 4 times. Finally, the fourth stone door suddenly issued a loud rumble, and the energy flow between Lin Yi and the stone door stopped, and the stone door began to rise slowly. Phew! Lin Yi let out a long breath. It seemed that the fourth stone door was opened in the same way as the previous 2 stone doors. The stone door opened, and Lin Yi did not dare to delay. He had to leave the cave before dawn, or else he would be locked inside. Of course, he could leave the next day. At most it would be a matter of waiting for 1 more day. However, Lin Yi's time was quite tight. The 5 Elements sect might summon the challengers back for the heaven rank meeting at any time, so Lin Yi had to hurry. Just like behind the 3rd stone door, there was a very simple small room. There was still no light source in the room, but it was still as bright as day. There was still a small platform in front of the stone room, and on top of the platform, there was still an antique small box. Apart from that, there was nothing else inside. Seeing this, Lin Yi was neither happy nor disappointed. Apart from the box, there was nothing else here. This was also within his expectations, but he always hoped to encounter something unexpected, but there was nothing. Every time he encountered a small box, Lin Yi was already used to it. Walking forward, Lin Yi stretched out his hand and took the antique small box. The small box was light, and it was almost the same as before. It seemed that there should be a cultivation method or a casting method inside. After putting away the small box, Lin Yi raised his head and looked around the stone room behind the 4th stone door. Lin Yi wanted to see if there was a so-called 5th stone door, but to Lin Yi's disappointment, this should be the last stone door. Because there was no 5th stone door in the stone room, it was empty and smooth stone walls. It seemed that there was no way out. His path in the secular world was almost finished. If there was no accident, this would be the last time Lin Yi came to the Shenyuan cave mansion. There would probably be no more fortuitous encounters in the future. What would there be on the Heaven Stage Island? However, Lin Yi didn't think that the Xianyuan Cave Mansion would still exist. After all, the Xianyuan Cave Mansion here was probably related to old Lin. Who else could he rely on the Heaven Stage Island? He could only rely on his own hands. Jiao Lao, this is the last stone room. Your memory should have been unlocked, right? What's the next step like? Lin Yi took a deep breath and asked Jiao Yazi. Yes, this is the last stone door, there is no more. As for my memory, I just remembered, it is actually limited. The days that I can accompany you should not be much longer, because my mission has been completed. Jiao Yazi said word by word. What? Mission completed? You haven't said anything yet? Who are you? Where did you come from? This stone door is gone. Where should I go in the future? Lin Yi's questions came one after another. Chapter 35-36. However, I only have a small portion of the original body's memories. The rest of the memories haven't been solidified, so I don't know. Jiao Yazi said, if you really want to ask, then I can only say that I'm afraid I'll only appear again when you reach a certain level. Appear again? Lin Yi paused. You're leaving? Not leaving, it's hard to explain. You'll know when the time comes, Jiao Yazi said. All right. Lin Yi knew Jiao Yazi's speciality. If he didn't say something, you wouldn't be able to get it out no matter how you asked, and he probably didn't even know himself. Then what's in the box? It's nothing, won't you know when you go back? Why ask me? Jiao Yazi smiled. Now, you basically know everything I know. My mission is complete. All right. Lin Yi sighed and left the cave. There was still some time before daybreak, so Lin Yi sat cross-legged at the entrance of the cave, waiting for the sun to rise. It wasn't until the stone door was completely closed that Lin Yi stood up and left, returning to the inn. Although there wasn't much left in the Xianyuan cave, it was a memory for Lin Yi, and Lin Yi didn't want others to find it or destroy it. So, Lin Yi waited until the stone door was completely closed before leaving. After returning to the inn, it was time for Lin Yi to leave as well. He said goodbye to old Lin, and this time, he might be gone for a few months, or maybe a few years. It all depended on whether things went smoothly on Heaven Stage Island. However, old Lin was still very supportive of him going to Heaven Stage Island. Lin Yi told him his decision, and old Lin only nodded with a smile. Very well, in the common world, you don't have anyone to rely on. You relied on your own strength to survive until now, and on Heaven Stage Island, you can also rely on your own strength to make a name for yourself. Lin Yi didn't mention Zhang Liju from Sky Class Island. He could be considered his backer, but whether or not he could meet Zhang Liju at the beginning, whether or not he had the right to meet him at his level was unknown. Perhaps this backer would only be useful after he reached a certain level, right? In the past, he probably had to rely on himself. What Lin Yi did not know was, it was the same for him in the secular world. When he reached a certain level in the later stage, Lin Dong helped him deal with the unexpected factor of the blood-clothed underworld sect. At other times, he still relied on himself. He brought the girls back to Yanjing City. Lin Yi didn't stay in Donghai any longer and went to find Tianlong and Lingshan. He wanted to cure them and then gather all his followers in the common world for a meeting to discuss and arrange everything after he left. Curing Tianlong and Lingshan and raising their strength to Sky Class late phase peak wasn't hard for Lin Yi. At first, Lin Yi was worried about the materials for the Qi gathering pill, but now that he had Tian Chan, the young master of the Sky Elixir sect, he had all the materials. As for the rest of Lin Yi's followers who weren't going to Sky Class Island, they were all gathered together by Lin Yi. Even Dafeng Bro and Kuan Cun were called over by Lin Yi. Lin Yi had to let these followers get to know each other, and then they could help each other and unite against the common enemy. Some of these followers knew each other, but some weren't familiar with each other. But with Lin Yi, the soul of the group, these people were able to gather together easily. Lin Yi also said that he might be gone for a few months or years, and he wanted these people to unite and not cause trouble. But they didn't need to be afraid of trouble, and they would all be under Lingshan's control and deployment. Naturally, these people wouldn't say anything about it. They all agreed wholeheartedly. In their eyes, Lin Yi was a godlike existence, raising their strength to Earth-class late-phase peak and giving them so many chi-gathering pills for them to use. It was simply too amazing. Kong Xiaobo and Fatty Lai came as well. He knew that it wasn't much use to raise their strength, but he did it anyway, including Zhou Ruoming. Lin Yi gave him Zhou Ruoming, but he didn't give him anything higher. He didn't need that much strength at his level anyway. After that, Lin Yi said goodbye to Sun Jingyi, Yang Qiqi, Su Shihan, Qing Yi, and Ning Ziyu. But Lin Yi suddenly remembered Qin Shi and turned to Tian Chan. Tian Chan, where's Qin Shi? She's doing great, Tian Dai's taking care of her. She's called Tian Shi now, and I'm going to bring them with me to Sky Class Island, Tian Chan said. Ugh, who's Tian Dai? And Qin Shi, she's already a perfected master? Lin Yi was shocked. How long had it been since Qin Shi left? She's already Earth class mid-phase after eating small chi-gathering pills, but don't you have a bunch of them? I'll bring some back, and I'll be perfected, right? Tian Chan said casually. As for Tian Dai, she's the one who went to your house to save you. She's my personal maid. I see. Lin Yi was speechless. With everything settled, it was time for Lin Yi to return to Five Elements Sects Inn. They hadn't gathered everyone yet, but it was good for Lin Yi to go back and wait. As for Tang Yun's matter, Lin Yi had found a way, but he hadn't told them yet. First of all, it involved Lin Yi's biggest secret, the Jade Space. Second, Lin Yi wasn't ready yet, and it was too early to say it. From behind the fourth stone door, Lin Yi took out a small box. There were 2 scrolls inside. One was the 4th stage of the art of dragon mastery, but it said that it could only be practiced when breaking through to Sky Dao or above. When breaking through to Sky Dao, it could be used as a support. Practicing it below Sky Dao would be useless, and the best case scenario would be to go mad, and the worst case scenario would be death by explosion. This art of dragon mastery also had a cool name, Duo Tian. Of course, Lin Yi wasn't stupid enough to try it. Although he could practice it when breaking through to Sky Dao, when would he be considered to have broken through to Sky Dao? Was it when he took the heavenly golden pill, or, all of this was unknown, and Lin Yi didn't dare to try it. If he went mad at this time, he'd be screwed. So, Lin Yi decided to find a chance to ask Zhao Lao. These days of continuous work, Lin Yi didn't even have the chance to enter the Jade Space to chat. Chapter 35-37. This time, after the condensation of the Jade Pendant, other people could enter the space of the Jade Pendant, not just Lin Yi himself. Of course, it was the soul that entered, not the body. However, there was a prerequisite, and that was, only those who were incomparably loyal to Lin Yi and had no bad intentions could enter. Even if they had bad intentions, they couldn't enter the space of the Jade Pendant. And this wasn't Lin Yi's judgment, but the judgment of the space of the Jade Pendant automatically. After all, it was only the soul that entered the space of the Jade Pendant. If there were any bad intentions, it was very likely to turn the tables. As for the specifics, Lin Yi wasn't too sure, because the condensation instructions didn't explain. It only said that those who weren't absolutely loyal couldn't enter the space of the Jade Pendant. However, in Lin Yi's eyes, Tang Yun didn't have any problems, because Tang Yun's feelings for Lin Yi were extremely deep. In order to let Lin Yi not suffer, she would rather suffer herself. Wasn't this kind of person loyal enough? She could definitely pass the test of the space of the Jade Pendant, right? As long as Tang Yun could enter the space of the Jade Pendant to cultivate, then breaking through to the peak would probably be a matter of minutes. After all, she had already touched the bottleneck. As for the energy stones, Lin Yi also thought about it and also gave Tang Yun a test, but the effect was very little. After all, Tang Yun's arts were different from Wang Xinyan and Zhang Naipeo. They could actively absorb unlimited energy, but Tang Yun could only absorb it passively. The energy stones could definitely provide more energy than the current energy of heaven and earth, but it definitely wouldn't be too much. It definitely wasn't enough for her to break through to the peak. So, only the space of the jade pendant was omnipotent. Lin Yi brought the girls back to the Inn of the Five Elements sect, and Lin Yi began to refine the space of the jade pendant. At the same time, in the room of the Xianchen ancestor of the Five Elements sect, sat a handsome man with long hair and a very warm appearance. It gave people a feeling of sunshine, but this person's eyes were faintly gloomy. It made people feel awe at first glance and not look down on him because of his appearance. Chancellor Nantian, I have already prepared for the Sky class meeting according to your orders. At this moment, the Xianchen ancestor was actually kneeling on one knee. If anyone was present, they would definitely be shocked. Ancestor Xianchen, the high and mighty acting sect master of the Five Elements sect, actually treated the person in front of him like this. The Five Elements sect was the initiator, organizer, and executor of the Heaven Stage Island plan. Therefore, it was known as the #1 sect in the ancient times. This was a rather awesome existence. All the ancient sects that wanted to advance to the heavenly Tao were extremely respectful to Patriarch Xianchen. However, Patriarch Xianchen was as careful as a servant. Yes, since I came here, Island Master has asked me to be in charge of guiding the disciples of each island. The man in the ancient robe nodded and said, Xianchen, you have done well. When the time comes, you will follow me. Become my subordinate. Thank you, Chancellor South Heaven, for your guidance. Patriarch Black Earth was overjoyed. This Chancellor Nantian was obviously an important figure on the heavenly stage island. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to contact him in the secular world as a guiding mentor. Patriarch Xianchen was worried that he would not have anyone to rely on when he reached Heaven Stage Island. If the others were all stronger than him, he would be screwed. In the end, the South Heaven Chancellor delivered himself to his doorstep. This was a great opportunity for him. Yes, you just have to do your job well. I need a few vicious and intelligent subordinates. Chancellor Nantian chuckled and said in an indifferent tone. Oh right, South Heaven Chancellor. Speaking of vicious, my disciple is also a dragon among dragons. Do you think he can learn from you? Patriarch Xianchen quickly recommended Kong Mingming to South Heaven Chancellor. This won't do. I can only take you with me, and that's already my limit. As for where the newcomers go, the teleportation array will automatically allocate them. I have no right to interfere. This is the rule of Heaven Stage Island. Even I can't interfere. South Heaven Chancellor said. I see. Patriarch Xianchen was a little disappointed. It seemed that Kong Mingming could only rely on himself. Yes, the Heaven Stage Island plan is going well, right? Because newcomers from the secular world to Heaven Stage Island only appear once every 1,000 years, our island master also places great importance on this. Back then, Heaven Stage Island's newcomer, Master Zhang Liju, walked up from your secular world's 5 Elements sect. Now, he is already a proud figure on the 5 islands. Even the island master is respectful to him. I hope that this time, your secular world can also produce such a figure. Don't let our island master down. South Heaven Chancellor said. I think Kong Mingming has this potential. Master Zhang Liju is an elixir refiner, and so is Zhao Ming. His potential is limitless. I think he can satisfy the island master. Oh, Zhao Ming is that disciple of mine. Patriarch Xianchen quickly explained. Oh. Is that so? That's not bad. But, is this the only elixir refiner that came from the secular world? South Heaven Chancellor asked. Of course not. My senior brother has another disciple called Tian Chan. She is also an elixir refiner, but she isn't very strong. Her brother is better at alchemy, but her brother will definitely go to Heaven Stage Island. There are two other freelancers, a man and a woman, but they are just a couple, Patriarch Xianxian said. Couple? What do you mean? South Heaven Chancellor asked. He's just a pretentious rogue cultivator. He thinks he's so awesome and pretentious all the time. That woman is his woman. Patriarch Xianxian said, right, South Heaven Chancellor, we have to be careful of that kid when we go to Heaven Stage Island. Not only does that kid show off, but he also has strength. He is our archenemy. I'm afraid that he will continue to go against us when he gets to Heaven Stage Island. He still dares to go against us when he gets to Heaven Stage Island? South Heaven Chancellor laughed proudly, ha 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 ha. This is the funniest joke I've ever heard. If he dares to stab us, I'll slap him into the sea. Oh. Right, I forgot. That Lin Yi might be showing off in the secular world, but when he gets to Heaven Stage Island, he's nothing. Patriarch Xianxian said flatteringly. Don't worry, when we get to Heaven Stage Island, you will definitely be awesome if you follow me. South Heaven Chancellor said proudly. Thank you, South Heaven Chancellor. Patriarch Xianxian was relieved after hearing that. From Chancellor Nanxian's words, he should be doing very well on Heaven Stage Island. And then hold the Heaven Stage meeting. Those inheritors don't have to attend. When the time comes, they will gather together, and I'll tell them what to pay attention to, South Heaven Chancellor said faintly. Chapter 35-38. Heh. Chancellor Nantian made a throat-slitting gesture. You'll know when the time comes. Okay. The Xianxian ancestor was startled. What did this mean? Death? However, Chancellor Nantian didn't say much, and he didn't dare to ask. But this was better. He had planned to target Lin Yi at the Sky Class meeting, announcing a piece of bad news for Lin Yi. Although this news could hurt Lin Yi, he was afraid that Lin Yi would retaliate. After all, those inheritors were with Lin Yi. It was okay to force them, but if they were angry and joined forces with Lin Yi, it wouldn't be fun. But now, those inheritors weren't participating in the meeting. Lin Yi was really alone. None of the participants would support Lin Yi. They were only doing it for their own benefit, especially with Pinliang and Naipeo leading the way. They definitely wouldn't dare to not support his decision. After all, Pinliang and Naipeo weren't there for nothing. They would kill anyone who didn't agree. These two were existences that even the Xianxian ancestor had a headache with. He'd be in danger if Pinliang's aura made him lose his footing and allowed Naipeo to use his wasp absorption arts on him. And so, this was the reason why Naipeo expressed his goodwill to the everyday sect as soon as he recovered. Okay, go make the announcement and let the participants come back. Prepare to land on Sky Class Island. Chancellor Nantian said. Yes. The Xianxian ancestor said quickly. Okay, then I'll go rest first, Chancellor Nantian said. Okay, please. The Xianxian ancestor said. After that, Chancellor Nantian directly went through the wall in front of the Xianxian ancestor. With a whoosh, he disappeared in an instant. However, the Xianxian ancestor seemed to be used to it and didn't show any surprise at all. The method of making the jade was similar to the last time. But now, whatever materials Lin Yi wanted, the sect of the inheritors could help him find, especially the Sky Elixir sect that Tian Chan was in. They had everything. So, materials weren't a problem, and Lin Yi had successfully condensed a Sky-class weapon, so upgrading the jade space was a piece of cake. In just one night, Lin Yi successfully condensed it, and Lin Yi called Tang Yun to his room. Lin Yi. Why did you call me so early in the morning? Ever since Tang Yun discovered that her arts were emotional, she didn't have as much of a taboo with Lin Yi. She didn't want to interfere anymore. I called you to sleep, Lin Yi said. Sleep? Tang Yun asked, what? Sleep with me, now. Lin Yi said. Ah. Tang Yun's eyes went wide as she blushed. What are you talking about? You, Tang said. You? Tang Tang. You can? You can break through by sleeping with me, Lin Yi smiled. I broke through just by sleeping with you? Tang Yun was stunned. How is that possible? I can break through by sleeping with you? Tang Yun was stunned. How is that possible? Lin Yi prepared to tell Tang Yun about the jade space. After all, Tang Yun wasn't an outsider. She was his first real girlfriend, and Tang Yun was going to enter the jade space as well. I don't know. Don't you have energy stones and Wang Xinyan? Tang Yun was confused. Wang Xinyan is in the late stage. I'm talking about the early stage, Lin Yi said. I relied on a jade space in the early stage. Wang Xinyan is late stage, I'm talking about early stage. Lin Yi said. I rely on the jade space in the early stage. It's a place where I usually practice. You and I can enter when you fall asleep, Lin Yi said. But you have to be with me first. You have to hold my hand and get close to me. It's a place I usually train in. You can come in when you fall asleep, Lin Yi said, but you have to be with me first, hold my hand and get close to me. Lin Yi said, but first, you have to hold my hand and get close to me. It wasn't that Lin Yi was trying to take advantage of Tang Yun. It was the truth. The jade space could let others enter with both hands. Of course, this was only the first time. After the jade space recognized the owner, Tang Yun would be able to enter on her own. As long as she was within Lin Yi's range, she could send a signal to Lin Yi. After Lin Yi agreed, Tang Yun could enter the jade space on her own. The first time, she would rely on the jade to judge if the person was loyal to Lin Yi. The second time, she would rely on Lin Yi to judge. The jade wouldn't be able to stop her. Oh. Really? Tang Yun felt like she was listening to a book from heaven. She was confused by Lin Yi's words. Try it and you'll know. Lin Yi nodded. Tang Yun lied down beside Lin Yi. If it wasn't for her absolute trust in Lin Yi and the fact that Lin Yi wouldn't use this method to trick her into bed, Tang Yun would really think that Lin Yi was plotting something against her. Tang Yun lay beside Lin Yi and held Lin Yi's hand. Her breathing became erratic. This was the scene she had dreamed of, lying together with Lin Yi and whispering to each other. It seemed so distant to her before, but now it felt so real. Are you asleep? Lin Yi asked. Yup, no. Tang Yun shook her head. How could she fall asleep? She was too excited. That won't do. If you don't sleep, you can't enter the jade space. Lin Yi said helplessly. Yup, I'll try my best, Tang Yun closed her eyes. Okay. Lin Yi nodded. Finally, after half an hour, Tang Yun fell asleep. Lin Yi saw Tang Yun in the jade space. Tang Yun needed to sleep, but Lin Yi didn't need to. He could enter the jade space directly. Where is this? Tang Yun, who just entered the jade space, was scared. It was dark inside, and there was nothing around. She couldn't see the end of it. Tang Yun couldn't see the jade space that Lin Yi used for storage. Who are you? Tang Yun saw Jiao Yazi and took 2 steps back in shock. I'm the one who told Lin Yi to save you after you were drugged by Zhong Pingliang, Jiao Yazi said proudly. Oh, it's you. Tang Yun nodded, you're such a busybody. Jiao Yazi was stunned. He was waiting for Tang Yun to thank him. He didn't expect that she would say, you're a busybody. This made Jiao Yazi mad and speechless. Haha. Lin Yi entered the jade space and heard the conversation between Tang Yun and Jiao Yazi. He couldn't help but laugh. Chapter 35-39. This made Tang Yun a little embarrassed. She coughed twice and said, Lin Yi, is this inside the space of the jade pendant? That's right. Didn't you notice that the heaven and earth spiritual energy here is especially rich? Lin Yi nodded and said. It's really like that. Tang Yun was curious when she came in and didn't notice the heaven and earth spiritual energy. Now that she heard what Lin Yi said, she suddenly realized that the heaven and earth spiritual energy here was actually several times more than in the outside world. It was much more than in the Snow Valley. Thinking of this, Tang Yun quickly sat cross-legged on the ground and began to circulate the ruthless tactics. Time passed quickly and it was 8:00 the next morning. The inheritor and Tian Chan were called to the empty space behind the inn alone. Perhaps Ancestor Xianshen had already noticed that there seemed to be something wrong with Tian Chan, so he didn't let her participate in the Heaven Rank Conference. In this way, Lin Yi's position in the Heaven Rank Conference was even more disadvantageous, and it was more convenient for Ancestor Xianshen to manipulate his plan. In the conference room, all the participants, including Rock Candy, Sydney, and Elder Anya, who were related to the inheritor, were also arranged to the empty space downstairs of the inn. When Lin Yi entered the conference room, the atmosphere inside made him feel indescribably depressed. Everyone looked at him strangely. Previously, Kang Mingming had already secretly connected all the people, so these people naturally looked at Lin Yi with some pity. In their opinion, Lin Yi would definitely become the sacrifice of the Heaven Islands plan. What surprised Lin Yi was that he actually saw Tag Onlong. This guy should be a very important part of Ancestor Xuanshen's plan. Otherwise, Ancestor Xianshen wouldn't have taken the risk to find trouble with him and force Sun Jingyi to save him. Ahem, alright, since everyone is here. The Heaven Rank Conference is about to officially begin. Ancestor Xianshen walked into the conference room after Lin Yi. Behind him was Kang Mingming, but what was surprising was that he and Kang Mingming sat on both sides of the conference room's main seat. He was not sitting in the middle. Could it be that there were more distinguished guests coming? This made all the trial challengers whisper at the same time. They wanted to know what had happened. Who was more powerful than the Five Elements sect? How was this possible? Silence. Kang Mingming's expression turned solemn as he said, "Let us give a warm round of applause to Chancellor Nantian, the welcoming envoy from Heavenly Island." The so-called libation was a position similar to that of a mentor on Heaven Island. This position could be big or small. However, when Kang Mingming saw how arrogant he was, he knew that this person was probably a powerful person. Chancellor Nantian, don't lower yourself to his level. Next, tell me about the things we need to pay attention to when we go to Heavenly Island. Kang Mingming laughed and said in his heart. In his opinion, Lin Yi's death was already in the countdown. Even if Lin Yi endured it later, he would definitely die when he arrived at Heavenly Island. Well, the first thing is that I want to tell everyone about the Heavenly Tao. That is, what is the Heavenly Tao? Chancellor Nanshan's words made everyone hold their breath, including Lin Yi. This was because everyone had heard that the Heavenly Tao was above Heavenly Island, but what exactly was the Heavenly Tao? No one knew. Was the Heavenly Tao a level or just a general term? No one knew. So when Chancellor Nantian wanted to explain, everyone quickly prepared to listen. Chapter 35-40. Chancellor Nanshan's words shocked all the cultivators present. So, the Heavenly Tao was a mortal cultivation, this was a legendary existence. So, it could really be realized. And a cultivator was equivalent to a Qi refinement stage cultivator. Thinking about it, it made sense. After all, cultivators cultivated true Qi, wasn't this the Qi refinement stage? However, what they couldn't accept was that their strength, which they were so proud of, would be nothing if they went to Heavenly Island. Would there be a lot of experts then? Or experts like Chancellor Nantian were only a minority? They didn't dare to ask these questions. After all, with Lin Yi as an example, no one dared to speak carelessly. Next, according to the rules of the previous years, I will distribute the cultivation mantra to everyone. Chancellor Nantian's words made everyone in the meeting room breathe rapidly. Cultivation's mantra and mnemonic formula. Did that mean that everyone could break through to become a Heavenly Tao expert through cultivating this mantra? which was the so-called foundation establishment stage expert. If that was the case, then could they not go to Heaven Island and cultivate in the secular world? And Lin Yi was a little excited. He didn't expect that there would really be a mantra to break through to heavenly Tao. Looking at the excited crowd, Chancellor Nan Tian suddenly sneered and said, "I haven't finished speaking, don't be too happy too early." Ah. Everyone's joy lasted for less than a minute, and they heard Chancellor Nan Tian's cold words. Although this mantra can allow one to break through to the heavenly Tao, it is incomplete and not the complete mantra. Chancellor Nan Tian said, "As everyone knows, every cultivator can only cultivate one mantra. If you want to cultivate another, your strength will be crippled, and you will go mad. And when you step into the ranks of immortal cultivators, you only have one chance to choose a mantra. If you think that the mantra is not useful, then you can change to another one. You can also change to this mantra passed down from ancient times, but this mantra has a problem. It can only help you break through to foundation establishment stage. If you want to go further and reach my level, then it won't work." There was no doubt. This mental cultivation method mnemonic chant is just for show. If the person who cultivates it forcefully cultivates above the foundation establishment stage, they will go berserk and become an idiot. There is an example on our Heaven Stage Island. Previously, the dignified Heaven Stage Island Vice Island mastered the will of heaven, because he cultivated this crippling mental cultivation method. Now, he had cultivated into an idiot. You can follow in his footsteps. Everyone trembled in fear when they heard this. Even the Vice Island master of the middle island of Heaven Stage Island had turned into a retard. Then this mental cultivation method was really useless. Those who originally had the thought of giving it a try had now dispelled their interest. Although everyone didn't know what the middle island of the Heaven Step Island was, the name of the Vice Island Master was frightening enough. In that case, Senior Nantian, our mantra has already reached the peak of the heaven rank. There is no further mantra. Then we have no choice but to change the mantra. Although our practitioners' arts are pretty good now, we can't continue anymore. Pinliang spoke up at this time. Not bad, that's a good question. Chancellor Nantian nodded and said, "After you come to the Heaven Step Island, you can have a chance to obtain the continuation of the original mantra. Your mantra may be a secret to you, but on the Heaven Step Island, it's not a secret at all. Except for some very unpopular ones, such as the Chrysanthemum Treasure Book that some of you have cultivated. The rest can be found. But divine arts like the Chrysanthemum Treasure Book should be able to continue to be cultivated. As long as you know the method to break through to the heavenly path, it's fine." "I see. Thank you for enlightening me, Senior Nantian." Pinliang nodded. "All right. Xianchen, distribute the breakthrough mantra." Chancellor Nantian said, "This thing is just a formality. It's a rule for thousands of years, but I suggest you throw it away directly. Otherwise, that would be a mistake. Don't blame me for not reminding you." "Yes." Xianchen Ancestor nodded and handed a stack of printed mantra to Kong Mingming beside him for him to distribute. Kong Mingming distributed the mantra in his hand one by one and then returned to his original position. Most of the trial takers tore it up without even looking at it. They were also afraid that if they couldn't help but look at it, they wouldn't be able to control themselves from cultivating it. But there were also people who threw it away after looking at it. They couldn't help but be curious. However, basically everyone either tore it up, threw it away, or left it on the table without touching it. Only Lin Yi picked up the mantra with interest and looked at it. Creation Battle Art? Lin Yi glanced at the mantra. It was a very magnificent mantra. What surprised Lin Yi was that the style of the mantra between the lines was actually somewhat similar to the fourth level of the Art of Dragon Mastery, Heaven Snatching, but the content was completely different. So, Lin Yi couldn't help but study it carefully. Some people are so full of themselves. Do they think they're very powerful? I've already said that this mantra is trash, but some people can't help but look at it. Chancellor Nan Tian saw that Lin Yi actually studied it carefully and was a little annoyed. Was he fucking ignoring his words? Senior Nan Tian, please calm down. This Lin Yi is known as the #1 pretentious rogue cultivator. If he wants to look at it, let him. Kang Mingming couldn't wait for Lin Yi to die from qi deviation. There's a good saying, if you don't court death, you won't die. He's courting death, what can we do about it? Everyone has their own choice. But since this mantra has been given to you, it's your choice whether to look at it or not. If you're willing to cultivate it, then I won't care so much. Chancellor Nan Tian nodded and said lightly. I think it's not bad. Lin Yi took out his phone and flipped to the 4th level of the Art of Dragon Mastery, Heaven Snatching, and began to compare it. Because the 4th level stated that it could only be used when breaking through the heavenly Tao, Lin Yi didn't dare to fix it. The lesson of qi deviation last time was not enough. Lin Yi's memory was better. After reading the Art of Dragon Mastery, he continued to study the creation battle art. He also locked his phone and put it on the table. Chapter 35-41. And so, while Lin Yi wasn't paying attention, Pin Liang grabbed Lin Yi's phone with a whoosh. Lin Yi was taken aback. He didn't think that someone would dare take his phone in this situation. However, he wanted to snatch it, but after thinking about it, he decided against it. He wanted to keep a low profile. If he caused trouble at the heavenly rank meeting, he would probably fall into Patriarch Xuanqin's trap. He might even be kicked out of the heavenly rank meeting. The phone was locked anyway, and Pin Liang wouldn't be able to get in. As expected, Pin Liang was a little disappointed when he saw the password. He glanced at Lin Yi's phone's background and couldn't help but feel envious of Lin Yi. It was a photo of Lin Yi, the inheritors, Bingtang, Sydney, Tian Chan, Xinyan, Han Jingjing, and the others. The location seemed to be in a small village. Who was this old man? Fuck. Pin Liang saw the old man standing with Lin Yi in the photo and shivered, almost throwing Lin Yi's phone away. Fuck, wasn't this the Killer Kong duo? Pin Liang's eyes widened as he confirmed it a few times. It was definitely one of the Killer Kong duo. Why was he taking a photo with Lin Yi? Pin Liang remembered something abruptly. These were the Killer Diamond duo, and he'd heard that their name was Lin Dongfang and Lin Yi. Holy shit. It couldn't be, right? Pin Liang felt the urge to cry. Was he playing with him? He was going against the descendant of the Killer Kong duo. This was practically courting death. He remembered that Lin Dongfang said he'd introduce him to a junior as a follower. Wasn't that junior Lin Yi? Pin Liang's fear of Lin Dongfang was ingrained in his bones. His mind went blank in that instant. He'd forgotten what he was doing. The scene of the mad dragon ancestor getting killed by Lin Dongfang in his last life. It was still fresh in his mind. Lin Yi looked at Pin Liang in the dark, but he looked like he was struck by lightning. He stared at his phone blankly, wondering if he'd seen Mingyao's photo. Are you filled with emotions? Alright, everyone has finished reading this mantra, right? Then let's proceed to the next step. Chancellor Nan Tian said lightly. Yes, Senior, let's talk about the next part. Kang Mingming nodded. The next segment is the opening of the Heavenly Island. The opening of the Heavenly Island was a very difficult task, so the inheritor and the founder needed to work together. All inheritors must have the spirit of giving and sacrificing themselves. They must do their best to help the person who opened the passageway to resist the pressure of true qi that came from the opening of the passageway to Heaven's Stage Island. If the inheritor was lazy, then the person who opened it will face unprecedented danger, and all the previous efforts will be in vain. The Heavenly Step Island plan will fail. Chancellor Nan Tian said. Ah. Everyone was in an uproar. They didn't expect this plan to be so difficult. Lin Yi frowned. Although he had expected that the inheritor might be in danger when opening the Heavenly Island, he didn't expect that the inheritor would actually play the role of a bodyguard. Wouldn't that be life-threatening? So, in order to ensure the smooth implementation of the plan, in order to make the inheritor willingly sacrifice her life for the person who opened it, we must take a measure. At this point, Chancellor Nan Tian paused for a moment and said, that is, let the person who opened it have intercourse with the 7 inheritors at the same time. I will use a special method to set up a heart-linking lock array. One will prosper, one will perish, one will perish. If there's something wrong with the person who opened it, then all the inheritors will die. On the other hand, if there's something wrong with the inheritor, it won't affect the person who opened it. This is also the reason why the inheritor can maintain her virginity. Once the inheritor loses her virginity because of the person she loves, then this heart-linking lock array will be ineffective. They will only prosper with the person they love, and will not have anything to do with the person who opened it. And the virgin intercourse is the key step of the heart-linking lock array. I don't agree. Lin Yi didn't expect that the inheritor would maintain her virginity for this reason. He was a little angry. Previously, he thought there was something to say, but he didn't expect it to be such a dirty reason. These inheritors were all people closest to him, so how could he possibly agree to this suggestion? Kang Mingming and Patriarch Xianxian looked at each other and saw the sneer in each other's eyes. They knew that Lin Yi was going to jump out. Not only did he offend Chancellor Nan Tian, he also offended all the cultivators. Let's see if he can still die. Lin Yi, are you going to destroy the entire inheritance plan for your own selfish desires? Patriarch Xianxian said coldly, you mean that if you don't agree, then Heaven Stage Island won't open? And we don't have to go to Heaven Stage Island. Then, Chancellor Nan Tian came for nothing? Patriarch Xianxian was very sinister. His words directly pushed Lin Yi to the opposite side of all the participating cultivators and Chancellor Nan Tian. Moreover, Lin Yi couldn't refute him. Sure enough, as soon as he said this, the cultivators all glared at Lin Yi. Although everyone was afraid of Lin Yi and didn't dare to say anything, if someone were to make a rallying cry, these people would definitely gang up on him. That's right, Lin Yi, don't be so stingy. I'm just using them. At most, I'll return them to you after Heaven Stage Island opens. Taganlong looked at Lin Yi with a smirk. He had been waiting for this moment for a long time. Previously, he had always been angry at Lin Yi. Now, he finally had the chance to counterattack. Sleeping with Lin Yi's women was a very satisfying thing, especially since Lin Yi had not lost his virginity to them. Wasn't that equivalent to him being the first? Second-hand was already very satisfying, let alone first-hand. Taganlong kept imagining the wonderful scene of pushing down so many inheritors in his heart. He's the one who opened it? Lin Yi glanced at Taganlong and asked faintly, why can he be the one who opened it? What's so special about him? So others can't open it? Don't say so much useless stuff. He naturally has something special about him to be able to open it. Kang Mingming interrupted, do you think anyone can open it? If that's the case, there's no need for Sun Jingyi to treat him back then. Him? What's special about him? Lin Yi asked, tell me, maybe I can open it too. Chapter 35-42. Oh. Is that so? You're no longer needed here. Lin Yi glanced at Taganlong indifferently, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. Without warning, he suddenly attacked. Frenzied Fire 8 trigrams palm, 15th form. This was the second strongest move that Lin Yi could use now. After continuous breakthroughs, Lin Yi could already use the 15th and 16th forms of the Frenzied Fire 8 trigrams palm. However, the 15th form, with the bonus of the Essence Necklace's attack level, could instantly kill a peak late-stage heaven rank perfection expert. Of course, the premise was that the expert was unprepared. Otherwise, even if it was the 16th form with the bonus, it would be difficult to say that it could instantly kill the opponent when the opponent was fully prepared. Boom! Taganlong screamed as his entire body flew out, smashing a big hole in the wall of the inn. He flew directly out of the inn. You actually killed Taganlong. Patriarch Xianxian suddenly stood up, looking at Lin Yi with some shock and disbelief. He never thought that Lin Yi would kill Tag Long. One had to know that Tag Long was the pioneer of Heaven Island. Without him, no one would be able to go to Heaven Island. Judging from Lin Yi's previous situation, Lin Yi seemed to be very cooperative with the people who planned to open Heaven Island. So why did he suddenly go berserk and kill someone? Didn't that mean that their cooperation was in vain? Kang Mingming and Chancellor Nan Tian also looked at Lin Yi in disbelief. They never thought that Lin Yi could do such a thing. The power of the move that Lin Yi activated just now had already exceeded the strength of an ordinary peak late-stage heaven-rank perfection expert. Tag Long did not even need to check to know that he was definitely dead. Even if he wanted to save him, it was impossible. Patriarch Xianxian was a little dumbfounded. All the trial takers present were at a loss as to what to do. That's it? We can't go to Heaven Island anymore? The pioneer is already dead? Go. Everyone go together. Kill Lin Yi. Get rid of this saboteur. Although Kang Mingming was a little regretful that he couldn't go to Heaven Step Island, the problem now was that since he couldn't go, then he would maximize the benefits and let these people get rid of Lin Yi together. Of course. Kang Xiaoming yelled, and everyone was pissed off. Lin Yi knew that Tag and Dragon was the initiator, and that he was so important, but he still killed him. He didn't respect the Sky-class Islands plan and the inheritors at all. However, Lin Yi's strength was still there. Who didn't know that the bird that pokes its head out would be shot? These cultivators were able to reach the level of Heaven Stage Great Circle, which one of them was a coward. Their current goal was to ascend to the heavenly Tao, not to fight to the death with others. And so, while Kang Mingming's words struck a chord in everyone's hearts, no one dared to make the first move. All of them turned to Pinliang and Naipeo. After all, Pinliang and Zhan Naipeo were from the everyday sect, and other than the Xianxian elder, they were the strongest people here. Only if they made a move would the others be able to gang up on them. Naipeo, of course, looked at Pinliang. If Pinliang didn't speak, he wouldn't speak either. At this time, Kang Mingming also looked at Pinliang. Pinliang had promised at the entrance of the inn that if Lin Yi dared to stop the Heaven Step Island plan, Pinliang would definitely stand against Lin Yi. Ah. Why are you all looking at me? Pinliang was just in shock and immersed in endless painful memories. He didn't know what was happening in front of him at all. Kang Mingming was a little speechless. What were you doing just now, bro? Playing with your phone? Why are you still playing with your phone at a time like this? But he was still hoping that Pinliang would call for everyone to attack together, so he could only explain patiently. Lin Yi didn't want his woman to have a relationship with the founder of Heaven Step Island, Tag Long, so he killed Tag Long. Oh, good kill. Pinliang said immediately. What? Kang Mingming's eyes widened. He looked at Pinliang in disbelief, thinking that he had heard wrong. Mad Dragon Master, what the hell are you doing? The Xianxian elder frowned and glared at Pinliang. That wasn't what he said before. They agreed to kill Lin Yi together. Why did he go back on his words? Screw your head. Pinliang raged, so what if I said it was good kill? If he's not dead, I'll help him. Motherfucker, if he dares to touch boss Lin Yi's woman, I'll be the first to kill him. Right, pal? Ah. Right. Naipeo paused, but he listened to Pinliang. He was a little confused, but whatever Pinliang said was right. If Pinliang suddenly called Lin Yi his boss, then Lin Yi would naturally be his boss as well. I'll use wasp absorption arts to suck him to death. Kang Mingming looked at the two in front of him, dumbfounded. What the hell was going on? Do you think boss Lin Yi did the right thing? Pinliang pointed at Lawless Fist not far from him. Ugh. Yes. Lawless Fist nodded. What about you? You think it's good to kill him? Pinliang pointed at another foreigner. Good, very good. The foreigner quickly said. What about you? Pretty girl? Pinliang looked at Song Lingrui and asked. He felt that this girl looked familiar, as if he had seen her somewhere before. I'll go help too. Song Lingrui nodded. Xianchen, Kang Ming Ming, there's no problem, right? Look, everyone agrees with Boss Lin Yi killing Tagan Dragon. Pinliang shrugged and said with a smile. You. The Xianchen ancestor was fuming. This was a sign of everyone rebelling. He turned to Chancellor Nantian. Chancellor Nantian, what do you think? Rebellion. This is rebellion. But I don't care, if you don't want to go to Sky Class Island, then I'll go back. The practitioners of the common world are really lowly. What the hell? Chancellor Nantian shook his head. Lin Yi, what are you trying to do? Don't you know how important Tagan Dragon is? The Xianchen ancestor was furious. Although there was still a backup like Tian Chan had 4 solid and 1 void attributes. Although she could barely be replaced, the most important thing was that she was a girl. This was also the flaw of the hidden child that the Xianchen ancestor was worried about. Tian Chan was not related to those inheritors, and those inheritors might not go all out. Even if Tian Chan had a good relationship with Lin Yi, she was not Lin Yi, and the inheritors might not risk their lives to protect her. Chapter 35-43. I know, but it's not irreplaceable. Can't someone else do it? Lin Yi said faintly. Huh. You mean Tian Chan? Tian Chan is a woman and can't use the heart-linking lock formation. How can you guarantee that the inheritors will do their best to protect Tian Chan? Since he couldn't do anything to Lin Yi, and these people, led by Zhong Pingliang, had inexplicably rebelled, he could only take a step back and calmly discuss with Lin Yi. Otherwise, no one would be able to go to Heaven Island. However, the Xianchen patriarch clearly had a better one. Why did he use the second best one? Previously, Tagan Long was crippled, and he had no choice but to settle for the second best. But now? Tagan Long was fine, but he was killed by Lin Yi. Tian Chan isn't the only 5-element cultivator. In fact, I'm one too. Lin Yi said faintly and began to chant. He compressed a ball of true qi in his hand but didn't release it. Instead, he switched between the 7 elements of metal, wood, water, fire, earth, mist, and ice. What? The Xianchen patriarch couldn't help but widen his eyes. He didn't expect that Lin Yi was also a 5-element cultivator. Not only that, but he had 7 elements. He was even more powerful than Tagan Long's 5-element and 5-element cultivators. When the other inheritors saw that Lin Yi was also a 5-element cultivator, they gave up and didn't dare to go against Lin Yi anymore. Anyway, Lin Yi could be the initiator to open Heaven Island. They didn't care about Tagan Long's life or death. In their eyes, it was all the same as long as they could reach Heaven Island. Okay. The Xianchen patriarch was a little helpless. Although he didn't want to let it go just like that, he thought about it. Tagan Long only played this role, and Lin Yi was the initiator. Those inheritors were all his girlfriends. How could they protect him wholeheartedly? In this way, the chances of opening Heaven Island were greater. It was almost 100%. This was because if the inheritor gave his all and sacrificed himself for the sake of others, the heavenly island wouldn't have failed. Those who failed were those who did not use their full strength. No wonder he's so arrogant. It turns out that he has some capital. Chancellor Nantian looked at Lin Yi and mocked faintly, but, on Sky Class Island, all that elemental stuff is useless. Right now, you can only be regarded as laying the foundation for the Qi refining stage. The real highlight is the foundation building stage. Only those who succeeded in building their foundation could be called elites in the Tao of Heaven and step on the path of immortal cultivation. Although you're all cultivators now, you're still mortals. Lin Yi smiled and didn't say anything. Foundation establishment, Lin Yi, are you willing to be the one to activate it? Asked Patriarch Black Earth. Sure. Lin Yi nodded. All right, if that's the case, then it's settled. Chancellor Nantian, please continue the topic of the meeting. Patriarch Shenshin said. All right. When the heavenly island was opened. I'll guide you personally. When I say charge, everyone will charge towards the entrance. If you're too slow, don't blame me if you can't get through. Chancellor Nantian paused for a moment before continuing. There's one last important thing. That is, when you go to the Heaven Stage Island, it's best to let your friends and family send you off. If you want to come back after going to the Heaven Stage Island, hee. Could it be that I can't return to the secular world after going there? Lin Yi was slightly shocked and asked. You can definitely come back this time. How can you not come back? Only a retarded itinerant cultivator like you would ask such a retarded question. Chancellor Nantian mocked and said, however, with my strength, I can only make my primordial spirit clone come back under the effect of a secret technique. If I want my main body to come back, my strength isn't enough. Everyone came to a realization. It wasn't that they couldn't come back, but that those who weren't almighty couldn't come back. And those who could come back probably didn't have any friends or family left in the secular world. There was no reason for them to come back. Then. Master Zhang Liju. Can he come back? Lin Yi asked after some thought. Of course. What kind of power is Master Zhang Liju? Of course he can come back. Ignorant. Chancellor Nantian humphed. Lin Yi nodded and breathed a sigh of relief. The cauldron in the tomb was most likely taken away by Zhang Liju when he remembered it. All right, I've said what I need to say. Everyone prepare yourself, tell your friends and family to send you off. Tomorrow night, the Heaven Stage Island will officially open. Yes. Everyone was shivering after hearing this, but they were also filled with excitement. After all, the path to the heavenly Tao was right in front of them. The crowd dispersed, and Lin Yi, Han Jingjing, and Xinyan went back to their rooms. Chancellor Nantian went to continue his lecture with the heirs. Lin Yi sighed and decided to let Ling Shan, Sun Jingyi, Shihan, Cheng Yi, Ziyu, and Tianxi send them off. Wu Qintian, Pai Jishan, Pai Jihai, and the other henchmen would come to send Lin Yi off as well. The heirs all came back and gathered in Lin Yi's room. Meng Yao called Pengzhan Yi Weiner, telling them that they would be leaving tomorrow, but with a master like Lin Yi protecting them, it should be fine. Yushu called Shin Yutian. As for the hidden house Yu, she automatically ignored them. Tang Yun, on the other hand, called her parents, and so did Xiao Xiao. Her mom, Xiao Susu, had woken up, and the poison in her body had been absorbed by Xiao Xiao as well. Xiao Xiao didn't have anything to worry about anymore. Yu Ning, on the other hand, called Yu Bing and House Yu, mentioning Shu's matter. Guan Xian, on the other hand, called Guan Shuamin and Boss Bai. Little Jiu, on the other hand, called Yang Qiqi. Everything had been arranged properly, and everyone went to rest early. Tomorrow was an important day. Lin Yi, on the other hand, couldn't fall asleep for a long time. Xinyan and Han Jingjing lay beside him. Tonight, Lin Yi wanted to test out that Creation's Art of Heaven's Path Foundation's chant. Although Chancellor Nantian had previously mentioned that there was a Vice Island Lord called Tian Xing who cultivated the creation battle art on the Heavenly Stage Island. However, due to the incomplete mantra, he ended up going berserk. But, just from the fact that he was able to become the Vice Island Master after practicing the Fortune-type battle arts, one could tell that the strength of the Fortune-type battle arts was quite strong. However, it was likely that it would be lacking in strength in the future. When it reached a higher realm, the flaws would become greater and greater, and Tian Xing had unfortunately gone mad. Chapter 35-44. At the very least, when the will of heaven became the Vice Island Master, he couldn't have just started cultivating, right? He must have cultivated for a long time and possessed great strength. Therefore, in this case, only the will of heaven had cultivated this mantra for so long, the others couldn't even cultivate this. and Lin Yi wanted to give it a try. Of course, Lin Yi didn't want to force it like the will of heaven, but he wanted to combine the creation battle art and the fourth stage mantra of the art of dragon mastery into one. The fourth stage of the art of dragon mastery was a mantra to assist in breaking through the heavenly Tao. If the two were combined, with the art of dragon mastery as the main and the creation battle art as the supplementary, and the omnipotent mantra obtained from the third stone door as the thread to form a new mantra, wouldn't it be a complete mantra? With the previous experience of combining martial arts, Lin Yi didn't think there was anything wrong with the martial arts he combined. It could be upgraded along the way, and its power was limitless. Therefore, it seemed that there shouldn't be any problems with the combined mantra. Therefore, Lin Yi did what he thought. After entering the space of the jade pendant, he began to use the omnipotent mantra to recombine the two mantra. Taking a deep breath, Lin Yi began to try the omnipotent mantra, then began to chant the fourth stage of the art of dragon mastery, seizing the heavens, and the creation battle art that Chancellor Nantian gave him. These two mantra kept alternating in Lin Yi's mind, interspersed with the mantra of the omnipotent mantra. And from the beginning, Lin Yi recited it. It turned into the contents of the two mantra, automatically circling around in Lin Yi's mind. Then, the order of the mantra began to get messy, and the two mantras slowly recombined, merging into a complete new mantra. Although Lin Yi already knew that these things from the Shenyuan cave abode weren't ordinary, he was still shocked at this time. This was the rhythm of being able to create his own mantra. And this newly fused mental cultivation method mnemonic formula. It was as if it had been imprinted in Lin Yi's mind, making Lin Yi unable to forget it even if he wanted to. What surprised Lin Yi the most was that this newly fused practitioner's chant could be used as two parts of the practitioner's chant. This was quite a rare thing. If one were to cultivate it properly, the art of dragon mastery would be the main force, and the creation battle art would be the support. The reverse way of cultivating was to use the art of dragon mastery as a supplement, with the art of dragon mastery as a guide. However, Lin Yi was definitely going to cultivate. After all, his foundation was the art of dragon mastery, and the art of dragon mastery was a heaven-defying mantra. Lin Yi naturally couldn't put the cart before the horse and give up his original advantage. Lin Yi named this brand new mantra, Heaven's Fortune Battle Art, before he calmed his excitement and joy. He began to cultivate in the space of the jade pendant. It was better to break through the way of heaven as soon as possible. No matter how good the mantra was, it would only be effective after cultivation. Since he already had a way to break through the way of heaven and become a foundation establishment expert, Lin Yi was determined not to waste time. The heavenly island was full of unknown dangers. Therefore, it was better for Lin Yi to improve his strength as soon as possible. Taking a deep breath, Lin Yi slowly calmed his mind and concentrated, and began to circulate this brand new mantra. All the qi in his body began to move, and it flowed along Lin Yi's meridians. Suddenly, Lin Yi felt as if his body and meridians were about to explode. This mantra didn't seem to be something that Lin Yi could control with his current strength. This kind of pain made even a heaven stage great perfection expert like Lin Yi feel a little unbearable. Lin Yi thought that his endurance was strong enough, but at this moment, he couldn't help but feel like he was about to die. However, the process of cultivation was an extremely long process. Even if it was incomparably painful, Lin Yi could only continue. He didn't think that there would be any problems with this mantra. After all, it was converted from the omnipotent mantra. It was just that the process was too torturous. This kind of pain lasted for a full hour. At this moment, Lin Yi was in so much pain that he was sweating profusely. Finally, the pain gradually weakened. Just when Lin Yi thought that he had adapted to this brand new mantra and could breathe a sigh of relief, his body suddenly shook violently. Chapter 35-45. His entire person seemed to have changed. The Lin Yi at this moment felt like he was on a completely different level from before. It was as if he was looking down on all the other mountains, as if he was already standing on the peak in some sense. Was this the heavenly Tao? Was this foundation establishment? Lin Yi felt that even if he faced a heaven-rank great perfection expert, he could still easily kill him. There was no need for the sneak attacks and instant kills from before. This was the difference in absolute strength. Phew, Lin Yi heaved a sigh of relief and hurriedly continued to circulate the mantra to consolidate his strength. Lin Yi discovered that ever since Wang Xinyan advanced to the sky rank, she had been giving him a lot of benefits. The energy provided had become even stronger. The night passed uneventfully. Lin Yi didn't tell anyone that he had stepped into the heavenly Tao. Lin Yi didn't want to publicize this because he would become the target of public criticism. The next morning, Lin Yi was talking with the girls when Zhong Pingliang came looking for him. Pinliang had supported Lin Yi yesterday, and while Lin Yi was surprised, he thought that Pinliang was doing this because he'd helped Naipeo. His attitude wasn't too good either, though. After all, Pinliang had already returned the favor, so they were still enemies. Zhong Pinliang, what are you doing here? Lin Yi asked faintly. Boss Lin Yi, I'm just showing my loyalty to you, aren't I? I admire you a lot. Pal, call him boss. Pinliang said. Boss Lin Yi, please accept this little brother's bow. Naipeo, on the other hand, was completely convinced by Lin Yi. If Pinliang asked him to call Lin Yi his boss, he'd do it, but he wouldn't do it willingly. However, Lin Yi had helped Naipeo before, and Naipeo was grateful for that. Now that Pinliang was asking him to do this, it made perfect sense. Plus, Naipeo knew the reason. Therefore, he was not surprised. What are you two doing? Is there something wrong with him? Lin Yi looked at Pinliang curiously. Oh, Liangzi, you've thought it through? Was he finally going to be Shield Bro's lackey? I told you a long time ago that you wanted to be Shield Bro's follower. Look, you've finally become one. Yushu said proudly. Not bad, Sister Shu. Please take care of me in the future. Pinliang had lost all will to resist ever since he knew who Lin Yi was. Zhong Pingliang, are you serious? Lin Yi realized that Zhong Pingliang didn't seem to be joking. Of course not, I'm sincere. Furthermore, I promised Hero Lin of the Twin Vajra that I would be his junior's follower. Young Master Lin is Master Lin's descendant, so of course I have to call you boss. Pinliang explained. Vajra double killer Lin? Who are you talking about? Lin Yi was baffled. Lin Dongfang, Master Lin. Pinliang paused. Could it be that Lin Yi didn't know about Lin Dongfang's past? But now that he thought about it, it was possible. Who would dare go against Lin Yi after all? That would be suicide. Lin Dongfang? Old man? My grandpa? Lin Yi was surprised. Yes. Pinliang was sure that Lin Yi didn't know. Then do you know the other Vajra double killer Yang? Master Yang? Who? My Master Yang Ming? Lin Yi paused. Master Yang is Boss Lin Yi's master. No wonder Boss Lin Yi is so powerful. Pinliang was shocked. He was shocked enough that Lin Dongfang was Lin Yi's master, but Yang Ming was Lin Yi's master. This background was enough to kill everyone. At this moment, Pinliang decided that he would follow Lin Yi for the rest of his life. As far as he was concerned, Lin Dongfang and Yang Ming were so powerful back then, so their inheritors shouldn't be too shabby. Sky Class Island was full of unknown dangers, and he couldn't do it without a backer. So Pinliang felt that following Lin Yi would be good. So, they are the Vajra double killer Yang. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. He had heard about how powerful the Vajra double killer Yang were, but he didn't expect them to be the two closest to him. That was it. His master had left with those Sky Class masters, but where did they go? Sky Class Island? Or was there another place? It wasn't hard for Lin Yi to understand why Pinliang was behaving like this. Pinliang's original body, the Mad Dragon Master, was killed by Lin Dongfang all those years ago. It made sense for him to be afraid of Lin Dongfang. As for why Pinliang knew about this, it was probably because he saw the background photo on his phone yesterday. However, Lin Yi wasn't very confident in Pinliang, but it was good to have such a follower on Sky Class Island. So he said, if that's the case, then follow me from now on. However, I also want to test you. If you're useless, why would I take you in? Okay. Pinliang nodded quickly and said, I'll definitely be useful. Even if I'm useless, I can still be a spy. Well, let's see your performance then. Lin Yi nodded. Pinliang said goodbye, and Lin Yi and the others rested for a while. Wu Chen Tian and the others also took a few cars to the inn, and the other participants and inheritors' friends also gradually came to see everyone off. Around 6:00 that night, the Xianchen ancestor was below the inn and shouted, all participants and inheritors, please pay attention. 5 Elements Sect is now making an important announcement. Sky Class Island will open tonight at 11:15. All participants and inheritors, please gather at the inn square immediately and head to Sky Class Island. This moment was finally coming. Lin Yi was very excited. He brought the girls downstairs, and the other participants also went downstairs one by one and came to the empty square behind the inn. In the square, there were also the relatives and friends of the participants and inheritors, and the Xianchen ancestor had found a full 5 buses from somewhere. Kang Mingming and Tian Chan were organizing the participants and inheritors, as well as their relatives and friends to get on the buses one by one. This feeling was like going to a certain place for a vacation, but in fact, it wasn't. As for the cars and luggage of the trial takers and inheritors, they would be taken away by the relatives and friends of the trial takers and inheritors when they returned. The Xuanzhen ancestor of the 5 Elements Sect also came. The Xianchen ancestor didn't go to Sky Class Island, but chose to stay in the 5 Elements Sect. The 5 Elements Sect in the mortal world also needed someone to oversee it. You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.